imports. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates! Before you hit the road this travel season, be sure to get your tires inspected by the tire guys at Greenville Auto World. The Greenville Auto World service team sells all the top brands and economy tires if you need a new set. Need an oil change, state inspection, or AC repair? Greenville Auto World can work on any type of vehicle, and the monthly oil change special is only $29.99. Make an appointment now by calling 364-8730. For award-winning service, trust Greenville Auto World.
Greenville's first ever Texas Fusion restaurant is now open for lunch. That's right, the Sidebar, located right beside the Dickinson Avenue Public House, now offers lunch Tuesday through Friday from 11:30 to 2:30. Come take a break from work and enjoy the tastiest food items around. Whether it's the honey chipotle chicken sandwich, smoked brisket tacos, chicken tortilla soup, chicken tinga nachos, or keep it simple with chips and salsa. To keep up with our ever-changing menu, food and drink specials, and more, follow the Sidebar on Facebook or on Instagram at sidebar.greenville.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is where the fiesta never ends. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Wednesday for shrimp tacos for only $9.99. Plus Wednesdays means all Mexican imports for just $2.99. Thursdays, enjoy your favorite beef, chicken, or vegetable fajitas for only $9.99. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed.
Did you see Redbeard's comment on Twitter?
Let's see what Redbeard has to say. Now, Chandler, this is a good question. Were you talking to...
He did not have pants on. So that might explain it.
Is this a real fireman?
He did not have a shirt or pants on.
Or is it... But he had, like, suspenders?
He had suspenders.
Is this a fireman you hire for a bachelorette party? Were you eating lunch with a male stripper?
Now that I think about it.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Can you be quiet, please? Thank you.
Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
It's me, Nancy Garcia.
Clip. Hey, man, good to see you, brother.
Excitement time.
Clam down! Clam down! Clam down! Clam down! Pirates are going dancing, baby!
They picked us last. They picked us last. And now we're going dancing. We're going dancing.
How about those friggin' Pirates?
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Welcome in to a Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios, coming to you today on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. You can find us on 1250, 930, online, pr927fm.com. And watch the show on Facebook Live and YouTube. Be a part of today's program with what is on your mind, or if you have a question for one of the crew here or one of our guests, you can get that in on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We have a lot of guests to get to on today's show. We'll talk some O's baseball and Major League Baseball coming up in about 25-30 minutes from now with Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com. O's winners last night. And have the tied for the second most wins in the American League. So they are playing great. We'll talk about that, the prospects of Connor Norby potentially joining the team, and more with Mark Brown later on in hour number 1 from CamdenChat.com. And hour 2, we'll talk some Pirate baseball with Brandon Manning. He will join us. We'll get you ready for the ECU Tulane series and also get Brandon's thoughts on the loss to NC State and the Pirates getting swept by Wichita State. Brandon is usually glass half full, sunshine and rainbows. We'll see how he can put us in a better mood for the losing streak East Carolina's on right now when it comes to baseball, trying to get rid of that streak. When the Green Wave come to town tomorrow, we'll talk to Corey Glore coming up on Friday's edition of Pirate Radio Live about that as well. So we'll preview ECU Tulane and have our ECU baseball report brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance with Brandon Manning coming up at 4 o'clock. At 4:30, it's another game of Name That Sound. More on that momentarily. At 5 o'clock, we're talking a lot of football. NFL draft is tonight. Happy draft day to those who celebrate. I'll be one of those celebrating. I got a buddy of mine that loves the draft, loves the NFL, and is hosting his annual draft party and has put together a giant prop sheet that I have to fill out between now and 8 o'clock. And I got to tell you, it reminds me of how much I do not know about this year's NFL draft. So we'll touch on that, talk about some old draft stuff, and Dominique Davis will join Marcus Crandell and I, and we'll play a little bit from our interview we did on Tuesday morning with Kerry Joseph. He is the assistant quarterbacks coach with the Seattle Seahawks, and talked about draft prepped as an NFL coach, and asked him about Holton Ahlers. Asked him, Marcus straight up asked him who the Seahawks' first pick was going to be of the draft. You'll hear how he answered those questions. But excited to talk to some former Pirate great quarterbacks, the Hall of Famer Marcus Crandell and Dominique Davis, coming up at 5 o'clock. So we got all that on tap, and your comments and a lot more on today's edition of Pirate Radio Live. Steve is on one early on, and we'll see if Shirley has any of these clips ready to go. He says, "Happy draft day, Clampo." Clampo. Clipper. Yeah, all right. He says, "Go Gator." Hey, Atticus.
Go Gator.
Go Gator. Burgley, the Burgley. All right, and Shirley, his final one is, "I want me some glory hole."
I want me some glory hole.
Jerry Jones looking for that glory hole tonight when Dallas is on the clock. All right, so let's get to Flight by Yingling ECU report before we move on to other topics. And we're still awaiting East Carolina to take the diamond once again, and weather permitting. They got Tulane coming up this weekend for a 3-game series, and with all the losing lately, it becomes a very important series for East Carolina to win and hopefully sweep. That'd be nice as well, but right now we just want to win. Scheduled right now for 6 o'clock on Friday, 4 o'clock on Saturday, and the finale Sunday at 1 o'clock at Clark LeClaire Stadium. Getting an update on what's going on in softball. The Pirates this weekend will be taking on NC State. Interesting non-conference series this weekend. They got the Wolfpack Saturday for a doubleheader in Raleigh beginning at 2 o'clock, and then they'll play Sunday coming up at 1 o'clock. All right, and lacrosse, great interview with Amanda Moore on the Brian Bailey Show on Monday, if you missed that. Saturday, East Carolina taking on James Madison. Shirley, are you PA in that event? Or what do you got?
I was supposed to PA that event, but I had to back out because there is another event going on at the exact same time, and I need to be in line for that.
Are you talking about the equipment sale?
Yeah, that's happening at like 4 o'clock that afternoon, something like that.
All right. So you have put aside your PA duties to go to the awesome equipment sale, which is coming up this Saturday.
Yes.
Fair play. All right.
I have a list of things that I would like to purchase.
Name 2 things on your list.
I would like to get some track pants, not like from the track team. I like, you know what I'm talking about.
Adidas,
the Adidas track pants.
If
they have any of those, I'd like to get my hands on a couple of those, because the ones I have, the pirate, because I've worn them so much, I've washed them so much that the pirate head that's on the side of it is starting to come. You can't really see it very well.
All right, number 2 on the list.
Number 2 on the list, I would like to get a possibly a basketball jersey if the number is right.
That would be cool. Men's or women's? Specifically women's.
Either one. If
what number are you looking for?
13.
Okay.
Because that's my jersey number.
All right. If you see a 13, put it aside for Shirley. She'd appreciate that. But you plan on being up there in line anyway.
Yeah, and if they've got some, if softball or baseball has some of those bat bags that they don't use, I'd like to get my hands on one of those.
All right, so here's the schedule of events for Saturday, according to ECUPirates.com. Coming up at noon, ECU lacrosse versus James Madison. Also at noon, the Pirate Equipment Sale. So that's at noon on Saturday. 1 o'clock, the Kids Zone opens up. 1 o'clock, the car show begins. Chandler, are you in the car show this year? Oh, Chandler Honeycutt is here. Hello, Chandler.
Hey, Clip, how you doing?
Doing great.
Am I in the cars and stuff like that?
Are you in the car show?
Oh no, I'm not in the car show.
Okay. All right, 1 o'clock, Vendor Palooza opens. 1 o'clock, Touch Arg Trucks begins. 2:30, Petey's birthday.
I've attended that back in my day.
You plan on being there?
Nah, not this year.
All right. 4 o'clock, baseball versus Tulane. So hopefully the weather holds up and we can have a great day of Pirate festivities. Again, these were supposed to go on during the spring game weekend, but weather took that out of play. So here we are now. And that is our Flight by Yuengling ECU report, brought to you by Flight by Yuengling, next generation of light beer. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling, available wherever beer is sold. Newton asking, do they have game-worn baseball caps?
I don't recall them having those.
So I, from the equipment sale, have picked up a really cool track jacket. Shirley's looking for like some track pants.
Yeah, I got a track jacket last year.
I got a sweet jacket years and years ago. I remember they've had football jerseys there. So, yeah, maybe Newton. I don't know. They will have some sort of hats there, I would say.
I don't imagine they would be game used.
Right.
Simply because that would be, I think there's a hygiene thing that potentially could pose a problem there.
Most of the stuff there, I shouldn't say most, I don't know, but like some of it is used equipment and stuff.
Right.
But a lot of the clothing is just like a surplus, right? Like extra stuff.
It's extra stuff because a lot of it's still in its original packaging.
Newton
still has
says,
tags on them and
also,
everything.
is there a list of items that can be viewed? Shirley, I do not believe there is.
No, unfortunately not. I wish we could do that ahead of time, but no.
Eric says, are there any game-worn jock straps available? I prefer mine to be used. That way I know that it will perform for me.
Can't say that I have seen any of those.
Chandler, if you could get one ECU athlete's game-worn jock, whose would you choose?
Game-worn jock. Probably Bryce Williams.
Hey, Bob. You got my jock on?
Got my jock on. Dang, I was looking for that.
Dang, man. You got my jock.
Yeah, man, you took my jock.
All right. I think I would choose Ezra and see if I could spin as fast as he could while wearing his jock. What do you think? You think my spin cycle could improve?
It's kind of like the mask.
Yeah. I
It's
put
like,
it on.
yeah. Instead of the mask, smoking.
Hey, why is that green down there? Jamie has bought game-used baseball jersey and football jersey. Yeah, I've seen the used jerseys that have been washed, but like hats are different than a jersey, right?
Oh yeah.
Newton, oh no. I knew he should have stopped this talk.
Even though I would not necessarily be, the one to purchase one, but if I had to buy a game used jock strap from an athlete,
yes,
Rajay Harris, because
my guy.
Yeah, because when he, the dude's got some.
Cojones.
You know what I'm saying?
Newton said Jacob Jenkins coward. Too soon. Way too soon, Newton. Way too soon. That is our dang. Got my jock. Flight by Yuengling, ECU practice report. I would like my very own game used jock. You know why, Shirley? Because I'm a lot like Deion Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
And by that, I mean this.
Deion likes nothing more than smelling his own fart.
Yeah, that was from Mark Armstrong yesterday when we had him on the show. Smelling his own toots.
And apparently Shaq does too, if you've seen the most viral video that's come out in the last 24 hours.
I have not.
What is Shaq do?
Apparently Shaq had some lasagna that gave him a little bit of the bubble guts, and he was fanning himself
on the
air. Yes, you can look it up. I saw it earlier today. Look it up on Twitter.
John said he would get what kind of show is this?
It's gone down the toilet.
Good
apparently.
grief, man! This is all on me. This is not y'all's fault. This is my fault. John said he would choose Holton's because he got balls.
Go cojones.
Thank you, John. We got to move along, folks. Got to move on to the next topic. NFL draft coming up tonight. And for Panthers fans, Chandler, you said last night at Sports Trivia, you said tomorrow night. How did you word it? I won't paraphrase. I'll let you quote yourself.
I might paraphrase myself, but it was something like, I want to say tomorrow night is the most important night in the history of the Carolina Panthers.
Well, to this point, yeah. But moving forward, it is a very important night because it will determine on whether or not you are a winner for the next 5 to 10 years, or you'll continue the losing cycle and extend the losing by another 5 to 10 years.
Yes. So the decision made by Scott Fitterer, by Frank Reich in his first year as the head coach of the Carolina Panthers, and David Tepper, the owner for the past 5 years now, has a very important decision to make. Who will it be? Will it be Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud? And in the past 48 hours or so, Will Levis's name has been that's
BS.
Which I think it is too. But his name has been out there just because of a random Reddit post. But in my opinion, I think that guy tonight that is going to be holding up that jersey with Roger Goodell is going to be Bryce Young.
Hopefully they're away from the podium because Bryce Young wouldn't be able to see over the podium.
That is true.
I'm going to have a lot of short jokes ready to go. Our buddy Tony Dunn, C3 Podcast, will be live tonight. If you want to check out his and the gang's reaction at 8 o'clock, you can do so on YouTube.
I think this is year 10.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll recap it all tomorrow, recap the first round, and also start to look at, all right, where does Keaton Mitchell go? Does Holton Ahlers hear his name called? And then beyond that, after the draft, it starts flooding out really quickly after the draft. Guys that get those preferred free agent contracts with teams, and we'll see if an Isaiah Winstead, a C.J. Johnson, maybe one of the defensive guys, Miles Berry. But Gerard Stringer was playing some great football at the end of his ECU career. Does he get a look from somebody, or do these guys start trickling maybe into the other leagues? We'll see what happens with that. Jamie says, over under, none of these quarterbacks end up doing well. So over or under 0? I mean, I guess I'll go over, just so if one hits, I can win the bet. But what quarterback would that be? I am intrigued by Anthony Richardson.
I think it's just going to take him longer to develop as a quarterback in the NFL other than C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. But he's got the tools. He's got the physical abilities to be something special in this league. So Anthony Richardson is going to be whoever is going to take a jump on him tonight. Very excited to see where he ends up. I've seen Colts and
I've seen Titans.
Titans maybe trading up to get him. So we shall see. But Anthony Richardson is definitely, I think, the most intriguing quarterback in the draft this year.
If he went to my team, I would be nervous, but also exciting. I like him from the outside looking in. I think I'd be nervous if my team picked him, but man, it would be fun to have that type of player at the quarterback position moving forward.
Can run, has a great arm, is very athletic, as we saw in his pro day, because I believe he threw like a 70-yard touchdown pass and then did like a backflip on his way down to the field. But look at his tape at Florida. Yeah, he made mistakes just like everybody else does, but there are some plays that he made in a Florida uniform that are just unbelievable, and especially that one against Utah earlier in the year, this past year, where he spun out of a tackle and was able to find a man in the end zone for a touchdown.
I had Utah in that game.
He has plenty of those types of highlights. But
I hate Utah, Chandler.
Okay, well, I'm just going to quit talking.
And early in the year, they blow it like that, and they have a tremendous year, but I'm already off of them. So I miss all the good they do because I lost on them early in the year. And I remember that game in Gainesville last year. Utah ended up being really good. Florida did not, but they lost that game I needed them to win because of Anthony Richardson. Remember, like the first 2 or 3 weeks of the year, Anthony Richardson was like Heisman.
People were very high on Anthony
Well, yeah,
Richardson.
he had tremendous start to the season. So
I didn't mean to bring up Utah. I'm sorry.
Well, you did. For folks out there tuned in, who are you most excited about your team drafting?
Who is your team, and who do you want to pick?
Which one are we doing? My idea or your idea?
We can do both.
Okay. 3-parter, folks. Who is your team? Who are you most excited about your team getting on draft night? Whether it worked out or didn't work out. Who is that guy in the past? And then who do you want tonight? There's your 3-part question.
And ironically, I hated those types of questions in school.
Yeah.
Like when I would see a multiple part question, I'd be like,
Yeah.
So,
well, you did this.
I apologize. I'm just ruining the show, so I'm just going to hush.
No, I don't want you to hush. I want you to tell me who you were most excited about on draft night for the Panthers, because earlier today I put together a list and tweeted it out. The players I was most excited about on draft night for Washington. And this is not hindsight. This is putting yourself in front of the TV watching the draft at that time. And for me, number 1 was Robert Griffin III. I was super excited to get him. Sky's the limit. It was followed up by a Rookie of the Year season in 2012. Washington won their division, went to the playoffs. Robert Griffin III, and the offense was awesome. Then he got hurt, and then it all went down the pooper. But I was excited about RG3. It paid off for 1 year, and that's about it. Number 2 on my list was LeVar Arrington. Thought he was going to be the next Lawrence Taylor. He was not. Number 3, Chase Young. To be determined. Number 4, Michael Westbrook. I was young. I remember him catching the Hail Mary against Michigan as a member of the Colorado Buffaloes. I just first really got into watching Washington week in, week out, and I said, this is going to be my favorite player moving forward. I got his jersey, and I loved football more than he loved football. And he had one good year in 99, and that was about it. Number 5, Champ Bailey. Hall of Famer, but we traded him. Traded him for Clinton Portis, who I love, but would have been great if he could have had a Hall of Fame career in Washington for his entire career. Number 6, Brian Orakpo, who had a pec injury every week. Great guy. Wanted him to be good. He was good, but he was not great and always had an injured pec. Number 7, Sean Taylor. Actually made football fun to watch after some bad years in Washington. Put him together with the other Miami Hurricanes boys, Clinton Portis, Santana Moss. 05 playoffs, 07 playoffs, but also 07 was the year that he was needlessly murdered while he was at home with his family. Rest in peace, Sean Taylor. Number 8, LaRon Landry, steroids are bad. That is my list.
All right.
Chandler, I asked you at about 2:58 to compile a list of players you were excited about the Panthers drafting on draft night, whether or not it worked out at all. But at that time, you were excited to get these guys on your roster. I know who number 1 is, but say it anyway.
Number 1, you have to start at 2011 because that's when I started being emotionally invested into the Carolina Panthers. And the reason why I started being emotionally invested in the Carolina Panthers, 1, they're a team from North Carolina, but 2, I knew they had the number 1 pick, and I knew they were going to take Cam Newton. I was very excited about them getting a Heisman Trophy winner, a national champion, and Cam Newton was fun to watch as a Carolina Panther until he wasn't. Number 2 on my list, I was very excited when we picked up Christian McCaffrey. Was very excited to see him because I know, watching him in college, he was fun to watch. I don't know if Christian McCaffrey was a guy that was a player that we thought we were going to pick, but when we picked him, it was kind of shocking, I remember. But at the same time, it was like, all right, this is a playmaker that we can have for years to come. Number 3, Kelvin Benjamin. Was very excited when we got him because I remember just watching him in the national championship game.
Had the game-winning catch.
Had the game-winning catch against Auburn in the championship game. I want to say the first playoff championship game, or was that the last BCS Bowl championship? I can't remember, but I remember seeing him play in that game, get the game-winning catch. And when he was announced as a Carolina Panther, I was very excited about the future of Kelvin Benjamin as a Carolina Panther. And unfortunately, that did not work out. He got fat, and things didn't work out. Let's see, number 4, I would probably say this is another guy because he was so good in college. I think he had an off year. But when we drafted Chuba Hubbard, I was like, okay, that's pretty interesting because we got him.
He sat out like the COVID season or something, right?
Yes,
yeah.
And because we got him in the 4th round at 126th overall. So when we got him, I was like, that's interesting. I remember he had that one good year, close to like 2,000 yards maybe, at Oklahoma State. So that's number 4 for me. And then number 5.
I'll tell you why you were excited. In 2019, he had 2,094 rushing yards in one season. That's why you were excited.
Yeah. And then number 5, it took me a while after I watched his highlights because I watch all the draft picks highlights. But Brian Burns, I remember them showing his highlights. And that was a time where we were desperately needing a defensive end. We were needing somebody on the end to create pressure. Not necessarily a big bull rush guy, but a guy that's very quick. And I remember the first thing I remember when we drafted Brian Burns, when he went on the stage with Roger Goodell, I was like, this guy is very tall and skinny. Like he doesn't look like a defensive end. But watching his highlights, I was like, he's got the quickness to cause havoc. And he has so far as a Carolina Panther. So that's my top 5.
All right. Notice a name absent from the list, which shows Chandler is being honest. Luke Kuechly not on the list because at the time you drafted him, you're like, okay.
Who's this boring guy
all right,
got glasses?
No, you said you saw he was ACC Defensive Player of the Year.
All
right, cool.
Okay.
We'll take it. But you had no clue the player he would be.
No.
And that's why we love draft nights. We don't really know what's going to happen, but for whatever reason, whether we've seen the guy live in college or we wanted him to be the pick or whatever, we get excited about it, or we think it's a bust, and we return 5 to 7 years later and can actually answer whether or not it was a bust or if it was a good pick. John is trolling. He says, I'm a Commanders fan and I want Carson Wentz. That's not funny, and you're banned from the chat. So, John, you are banned from YouTube. Not just the chat, like from YouTube as a whole. You're not allowed to use YouTube anymore on your devices. Jamie is excited about the Colts getting a quarterback, but he's not excited about any of the quarterbacks. He says Colts getting a QB finally is exciting, but not excited about any of them. Jamie was probably excited when they got Andrew Luck first overall in 2012. And would be more excited if Andrew Luck was still playing and did not retire. Robert, the Niners fan, was excited about Vernon Davis, who actually had some good years late in his career in Washington. He said Vernon did not hit his expectations. I remember he was supposed to be just a freak, which he was. I mean, he is a physical freak. But what we thought he'd do did not match what he ended up doing. Was a good player, you know. You could say at times a really good player, but thought he would kind of take over and be the next great tight end, and never was that great elite tight end. Robert also said he never approved the Trey Lance pick. Now, I don't know if Eric is being hindsight 2020, but he said the Kelvin Benjamin pick didn't do anything for me. Complete dud. We know it's a dud now. Did you know it was a dud at the time? That is the question. All right, John has apologized, and John, you can use YouTube. And you know what he did? He played the sympathy card here. He says, how's my kid supposed to watch my Minecraft videos now? John, I can't, sins of the father. I cannot let your son be without Minecraft videos just because of your troll job. So I'm gonna allow your son to watch YouTube, and I'll give you 30 minutes a day. How about that?
Eric says, don't worry, John. They'll let you out on parole in no time.
I tell you, we rule with an iron fist, but we're softies too. Yeah, we'd let you out.
Okay, you can get out there. I don't know what I would do if you banned YouTube from me.
I know. You were in here today watching epic. What did you search? Epic draft?
NFL draft moments.
Yeah.
And then the video ended up being like the most surprising pick since 2000.
Jack is a Panthers fan. He was most excited about Cam, and he was excited tonight about whomever we get at quarterback. So he's down for whatever tonight. Looks like that pick is going to be Bryce Young. All right, let's take a break. When we return, we will switch gears a little bit. We'll circle back to football for sure, especially in hour 3 with Marcus Crandell, Dominique Davis, and part of our interview with Kerry Joseph, the assistant quarterbacks coach of the Seattle Seahawks. So a lot of NFL, a lot of draft talk, football talk, and ECU talk coming up in hour 3 at 5 o'clock. But next, we will talk some baseball with Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com. We'll also talk some baseball at 4 o'clock with Brandon Manning. And name that sound. I have a suggestion for today's game. I'm going to run it by game host and creator Shirley Rhodes, as well as Chandler Honeycutt. We'll do that when we return after this.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Attavola Market Cafe. Attavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Attavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Attavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Attavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Attavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and AttavolaMarket.com. Attavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi-Spa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Go Pirates!
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Country Mart has been locally owned and operated for over 40 years and is your premier country store serving the best cheese biscuits and country food around. Country Mart is open every day and has 2 locations in Bethel on Highway 11 and in Stokes on Highway 903. Both Country Mart locations are top-of-the-line fuel stations serving Shell gas, including 93 ethanol-free high-octane gas. Country Mart, fueling you up with great food in your engines with great gasoline. Go Pirates!
In studio today with Frank Lee with Appliances Superstore. Frank, why should people go see you?
We make buying appliances easy, just that simple. We have the largest selection of in-stock appliances in Eastern North Carolina, which helps our customers save money every day. We offer a 12-month warranty on our appliances, plus we deliver and set up your new appliances and remove your old ones. Come visit us at the Appliances Superstore off 264 behind the new DMV, or shop us online at AppliancesSuperstore.com. Remember, we make buying appliances easy at the Appliances Superstore.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Wally's 2 Kettle Corn in Winterville is where you can find the tastiest popcorn around. Make it a movie night at home with Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. They have over 50 flavors to choose from, including classics like cheddar, caramel, and my favorite, better butter. Or try their specialty flavors such as Chicago Style, Wintergreen Mix, and MJ's Cheesecake. Wally's 2 also caters, so if you're hosting a party or event, satisfy your company with delicious popcorn. Check them out on Facebook or stop by and see Wally today on Fire Tower Road across from Sam Jones Barbecue. Wally's 2 Kettle Corn. Make it a poppin' day.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Pirate Radio.
So you believe in pirates? Pirates aren't Santa. They did exist, they did have treasures, and they did bury it.
You know, I had an eye patch when I was 6.
Who didn't, my friend? Who didn't?
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Pirate Water. Get ready to party, pirates. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find your new treasure. 21 and older only. Pirate Water. Why be yourself when you can be a pirate? Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's for the best Mexican food and fun in Greenville. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Follow Chico's on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's for dine-in or to go. And Clip, as we head back into the show, I have a little bit of an update for you in terms of ECU baseball. The pitching rotation has been changed.
All right, interesting. Let me ask you a question
go
first.
ahead.
Is Trey Savage in the rotation?
No.
All right, so answer the rest of the questions. Who is and when?
Patrick Mason tweeted out just about 15 minutes ago that Carter Spivey will start tomorrow's game against Tulane. Josh Groves will start Saturday, and Sunday is a TBA.
Oh,
so
dang. That was the big question. So we'll go TBA for game 3. It'll be Spivey tomorrow and Josh Groves coming up on Saturday. Okay, interesting.
Also, if you want to see something rather entertaining, there is an episode of Cliff's Cab that's out.
Okay.
Featuring Carter Cunningham and Lane Hoover.
Interesting.
And with a special appearance by one Ronnie Woodward.
Ronnie Woodward?
Yes. So you might want to check it out.
Okay.
It deals with the library. It's that time of year where he goes and passes out candy in the library.
Oh, yeah.
Ronnie Woodward is the library king now. So.
Wow.
So you're going to have to check it out.
You know, if they spent less time on that cab and more time practicing, maybe they win some ball games.
Hey, now you're talking, son.
But that's just me.
Now you're talking.
That's me being me. My good, close personal friend Jack Dover has chimed in on YouTube. He said, first of all, his least favorite pick as a Panther was Will Greer. Really? All-time least? He also has a question for Chandler. I have an answer for this question because I had a prop bet going and did not turn out good for me. Chandler, he said, in 2020, were you on Team Brown or Team Simmons for the first pick?
I was on Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah, me too. Big time. And that backfired. Big time. Brown, what's his first name?
Derek.
Is he still there?
Yes, and he's really good.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Pike is tuned in, listening from North Myrtle Beach on the road to, is it Charlotte?
Yes.
I remember the first time I saw that, I want to say I was on a church trip with Reedy Branch. And I said, what? I've heard of Charlotte. What is Charlotte?
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Thanks for tuning in, Pike, as he's burning up the roads again.
Chad, tell me where you're at in North Myrtle Beach. I grew up going to Cherry Grove. My parents had a timeshare. Well, my grandparents had a timeshare in Cherry Grove.
Your dad own a dealership?
No.
Is your dad a lawyer?
No.
Okay.
But had a timeshare in Cherry Grove and spent many a breakfast at Bullino's, and remember going down there and shopping at Bullino's.
Many a breakfast. All right, good stuff. Pike, let Chandler know where you are. All right, let's switch gears, talk a little baseball as we head out to the Pirate Radio Live line. The O's are playing great. Part of that is due to a bad schedule. The other part is they are picking up where they left off from a year ago, and they are playing well, and they play tonight against the Tigers on the road. You can hear it right here on Pirate Radio. But Mark, good to have you back on Pirate Radio. How you doing, man?
Clip, I'm doing pretty good. I guess we're a couple days late to be talking about the Orioles 7-game winning streak as it's still going on, but it's been a fun month of April so far, and that's been great to see.
Absolutely. O's playing some great baseball, and you look right now at the standings in the American League. The unfortunate news is the Orioles are in the same division with the Tampa Bay Rays, who have 20 wins and just lapping everybody right now. But outside of that, Baltimore and Toronto tied with the second most wins in the American League at 16. 16-8 are the Orioles. And Mark, what has led to this season? Last time we chatted, I think the O's were around 500. They went on that long win streak. And what's been going right for the O's? Who have been the main cogs there?
Well, Clip, I think one of the big things that's worked out for the Orioles is their April schedule has actually had some kind of cupcake games on there, and they're still in the middle of this right now. They had a stretch, the winning streak stretched over sweeps of the Nationals as well as the Tigers. And those are two really poor offenses. And, of course, starting tonight, they're about to have another 4 games against the Tigers. And then the next series after that is against the Royals, who are also not a very good offense. So that's good if they can continue to take advantage of that. But there are tougher teams looming. So, I mean, that's a big factor. But it's also been good to see there have been a number of Orioles who you would expect who would be key contributors who've been doing well. Adley Rutschman is kind of picking up where he left off last year. And then Cedric Mullins is looking pretty good as well. He's got 10 stolen bases over an 800 OPS. But then there have been a number of guys who've been kind of complete surprising finds. That's especially been the case in the bullpen. You've got Yenier Cano, who is a reliever who just recently tied a club record for retiring his first 24 consecutive batters to start a season. That was dated back to 1976. So, anytime you're talking like, okay, 45-plus-year-old records are getting tied, that's pretty cool. And, other guys in the bullpen, Mike Baumann, Brian Baker, Danny Colomb, who they only got right at the end of spring training and I didn't think was going to last more than a couple weeks. It's been fun to see just kind of some of the surprising finds, which has helped balance out some of the guys who haven't quite done as well as last year so far.
Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com, joining us, looking at some of the individual standouts and also the schedule, which I think that's a good point, Mark. But when you look at it, the O's last year, 3 games kept them from the playoffs. They were 3 games back of the Rays for that final wild card, and you could probably look back and see some losses to the lowly Tigers or the A's or teams like that. So, I don't know, a sign of a good team is taking care of teams you're supposed to beat, right? So that could go a long way if the O's are once again in a playoff hunt and it comes down to 3 to 5 games, something like that at the end of the season. You got to beat up on those bad teams.
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the Orioles were 1-5 against the Tigers last year, and the Tigers were also not very good last year. So, that was a big part of the gap between making the postseason and not. And another good thing about being good in April is last year, the Orioles, of course, no one expected them to be good in April, and they dug themselves a hole by going 7-14 in the month of April. So by improving on that this year, I mean, that's kind of the easiest way to just be like, okay, how are the Orioles going to win more games? Well, if they have a good April, which they've absolutely done, and then the rest of the season just kind of do more or less about as good as they did in the similar months last year, that gets the team up to suddenly they're in maybe the high 80s for win total, and then that's pretty much all. I don't want to say guaranteed, but that's pretty good chances of at least getting a wild card spot just for improving in the month of April, which there's a few days left, but 16-8 on pace for 108 wins after 24 games is a pretty substantial improvement.
Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com. Mark, it's interesting to kind of look at the ebbs and flows of baseball and the long season that it is. And Ryan Mountcastle is off to that tremendous start. And look at him now. His numbers, at least average-wise, are down. And I remember Cedric Mullins, last time we talked, was really slumping out of the gate. And his numbers not quite where they want him right now. But, tied for the lead on the team in RBIs. His numbers starting to look more like we expect to see from Cedric Mullins. So you hope that when guys are slumping, other guys are there to pick them up and vice versa. And it looks like this O's team is kind of doing that with some of these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Ryan Mountcastle, I guess the thing it seems like for him is, unfortunately, he hasn't been able to hit against Oakland Athletics pitchers, which is another one of the bad teams that Orioles have played already. He really beefed up on the home run total in that Athletics series, and I don't think has homered since, although he still leads the team with 6. So his problem is he just keeps hitting hard line drives that end up being almost right at fielders, infield, outfield. It doesn't matter. They're just going right to batters. And that was the story of his 2022 as well. So, one of the questions going forward is how much is that bad luck going to start to even out a little bit? But you're absolutely right. Mullins has started picking it up. Jorge Mateo has been just a revelation so far this year. He's still got an OPS over 1,000 after playing in 19 games. And that's another big part of the offense kind of picking it up from some other guys who are slumping so far. Anthony Santander is still kind of down in the dumps a little bit compared to where he was doing last year. And, just today, the Orioles have called up prospect Joey Ortiz from AAA Norfolk, who's maybe going to make his debut tonight. We'll see when the lineup comes out. And he's been hitting very well, and he's got a reputation. When he was drafted, he was a glove-first guy, and now he's been hitting very well the last 2 seasons in the minors. So that's another guy who maybe is going to be able to hopefully pick up a little bit if they give him some playing time compared to some of these guys who are slumping.
Mark, didn't the O's bring up an infielder recently as well?
Yeah, they called up kind of a veteran first baseman, Ryan O'Hearn, and he's only played in 5 games, but he's hitting .364 in his limited action. They've got him up to kind of be a lefty bench bat. He's 29 years old, so they don't really it's not like he's a prospect where they're going to be hampering his development if he's on the bench, So, again, he's only played in 5 games, but he's hitting .364 as a bench bat so far. So you can't complain about that either.
Talking to Malcolm Gray, ECU Baseball Media Relations, who follows the minors, follows everything, says that Connor Norby has been playing a little bit in the outfield maybe the O's want his bat and are trying to find a spot for him with the big league team. And I found that interesting. And we'll see. Mark, what do you think? Do you think Connor Norby sees the big leagues this year? Is that something in the future for the former Pirate?
It is interesting. It does seem like some of their infield glut, they're trying to see if they can get a little corner outfield for them. I think Norby, he's only played in a couple games in left field, but it won't hurt to give him experience. I think that it's maybe going to be a tough squeeze to fit him into the big league picture for the Orioles this year, unless there's some kind of injury into the second base mix. There's just too many guys who are ahead of him. Ortiz, who just got called up today, was kind of farther along. He's an older prospect, so they kind of need to evaluate him sooner. And hitting better than Norby so far in AAA is fellow infielder Jordan Westberg, who I think maybe would be the next guy to get the call up right now. Norby is unfortunately kind of slumping a bit to start the season compared to last year, where he ended up with 29 home runs over the full season last year, and he's only got 2 in 20 games so far this year. He just hasn't found his power stroke so far in the month of April. So I think until he gets that back as well, it's going to be tough to kind of see him forcing his way up. But I'm hopeful that he'll be able to do that, and I think that if he's able to find that stroke again, as I told you last time we talked, if he does that, there's going to be teams that are calling and trying to acquire him if the Orioles are making trades to get, veteran major leaguers to improve the team immediately. And, if not, there's a good infield prospect hopefully waiting in the wings whenever they get to him on the list.
Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com, joining us. Mark that had a stat earlier this week, and I can update that stat now. There are 6 teams right now. Let's see. Rays, O's, Blue Jays, Braves, Pirates, Brewers that have 16 or more wins this Major League Baseball season. And 3 of those teams are 27, 28, and 29 when it comes to payroll, the rankings, the bottom of the MLB. And those teams are the Rays, the O's, and the Pirates. So we saw the O's battle to the end last year in the postseason. We know the Rays are there every year. The Pirates are really kind of the outlier right now, but they're 17-8, playing a series with the Dodgers where they've won 2 out of 3. But that's fascinating to see, Mark. Is that Is that fluky? Is that maybe a new trend? Is it a new Moneyball era? What do you think about the Pirates and the O's? And I don't know, the Rays aren't a surprise at all. It's a surprise they have that many wins. But about these lower market teams and the money that they don't spend compared to other teams having all these wins right now.
Yeah, Clip, I always try not to get too far out over my skis and make grand pronouncements after a month of baseball, right? It could obviously look very different by the end of June, but sure. I think it is fascinating that, exactly as you said, that those three in the bottom 5 of payroll are now among like the top 5 in records. It's interesting. And I think the Pirates, in the same way as the Orioles, they've got like a young and interesting roster that's been supplemented with some interesting veterans. Like, the Pirates they had their reunion with Andrew McCutchen, and if you thought the Pirates were going to be bad this year, as I did, then it's like, okay, just have a little feel-good story. But now it really is a feel-good story because McCutchen came back to the team where he started it off, and they're just doing amazing. And I think that's fun for baseball to have surprising good teams. I think if the Pirates are able to keep that going, that'll be cool. And of course, even as much as they're a low payroll team, they just reached a contract extension with one of their star players, Brian Reynolds, who's got an 8-year deal with over $100 million guaranteed. So that'll kind of kick their payroll up a little bit in subsequent seasons as well. So, we'll see, I guess, how long it lasts with these low payroll teams succeeding. But I think that we've seen the formula for sustained success from all of them, even with those low payrolls so far this year. And I guess maybe a question will be if their depth is tested, will they be up to the task? And we don't know the answer to that until it is, but it's been fun for sure. And I hope it continues.
Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com, great resource if you are an O's fan on the internet. And I bring that up, Mark, because I saw a headline this week. Joe Torre, the great Joe Torre, won a Baseball Digest Lifetime Achievement Award. And that's the first time I've seen Baseball Digest in a long time. I used to remember that as a kid. And thinking of other things, if I go to my grandma's house right now, in the closet, she has a stack about 10 foot high of a newspaper, a newsletter type thing called Chop Talk that was for Braves fans. And it'd be some stories, some features, and something for Braves fans they could get in the mail back in the day. Also remember the This Week in Baseball show, of course, on television. And even now, it doesn't seem like it, but Baseball Tonight is a thing of the past, something I really enjoyed in the 90s during the summer, watching every night, getting updated on baseball. But with the internet and all these things now, heck, Mark, I interviewed a guy this week on the show that is the host of the intro show for MLB on Peacock every Sunday, which the O's and the Braves will play in a couple weekends at 11:30 in the morning on Sunday. Peacock trying to get the Sunday morning baseball to become a thing. So I don't know. I was just thinking about how much it's changed, the coverage of baseball, the things we had kind of growing up, and as to compared to what we have today, it's a different world.
Yeah, Clip, I think you got a pretty good summary of some of the stuff that was before our time, and now, our time is kind of the old days, too. I, like you, was an ESPN addict there in the 90s. I watched all the stuff. Just you saying Baseball Tonight, just immediately I heard, the da-na-na-na-na-na popped up in my head. Like, that was so much of my, I guess, not my early years, but kind of my tween to teen years, especially as that coincided with the Orioles being good there in the mid 90s. We have moved along. Now we've got blogs like mine or how people are following the Orioles. I actually just started a podcast for this season. If anybody wants to look it up, it's called Good Morning Birdland, and you can get that 3 mornings a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Nice.
Hear a little bit about the team. And it's just, there's all kinds of new ways to engage with the sport. And I think some of it is annoying because, I don't get Peacock, so, I'm not even going to be able to watch the Orioles 11:30 on Sunday morning in 2 weeks, right? But I guess I'll have to listen on the radio like it's back in the 40s or something. It's fun. Everybody's always saying, baseball fans are older and whatever, and they got to get in touch with the youth. And, you and I are not youth anymore ourselves, Clip.
Right.
If they got to, find the 20-somethings where they are and keep them, get them kind of interested in baseball in their early adult years in the way that I kind of did, even though the Orioles were not good in my early adult years. I was like, you know what? I really like the Orioles, and that's going to be like part of my adult experience. And the way to find those people who are like 21, 22 right now is different, and it's good that they're trying to find different ways to do it, even if it occasionally feels a little off-putting to me.
Yeah, if you want to watch baseball now, you got to have Peacock and Apple and everything in between. But that's the way it is. Baltimore Orioles baseball can be heard right here on Pirate Radio. Enjoy listening to those games on the way home from work. And Mark, coming up on this evening, it'll be once again O's taking on the Tigers. Looking ahead, Baltimore this weekend will have that series with the Tigers, so in Detroit. So an opportunity to continue to hopefully pile up those wins, Mark, as they've been doing. What do you want to see out of this series coming up this weekend?
Well, the Tigers have the worst offense in baseball so far. They've scored the fewest runs. They have the worst batting average. They have the worst slugging percentage. So I would like to see the starting rotation continue to be able to put together good games against the Tigers. And they were able to do that in the series just this past week at Camden Yards. So that was encouraging. The Tigers actually took the reverse approach that the Orioles did last year. They have moved their fences in. So that's new for this year at the stadium there in Detroit. So I guess we'll see if that makes a difference for them, their hitters to be hitting with fences that were moved in their home games against the Orioles compared to playing in Baltimore last week, where everybody, of course, was taking aim at the what's been dubbed Waltimore out there in left field, the farther back and taller wall. And I guess we'll see if that makes a difference for Tigers or Orioles hitters if the offense lights up compared to what we just saw at Camden Yards.
Looking at the schedule, at Detroit, at Kansas City, at Atlanta, a lot of road games coming up for these Orioles. And mentioned that NBC Peacock game, 11:35 a.m. Sunday, May the 7th. They will be available to everybody to watch the night before. The O's and Braves have a date on Fox coming up 7:15 Saturday, May 6th. So a national audience for that one. Mark, we'll catch up with you after the Braves series. How about that in a couple weeks? And continue to follow you on CamdenChat.com, and hopefully the O's continue their winning ways.
Yeah, that sounds good. Hopefully we've got some more good stuff to talk about by then.
Sounds good, Mark. Thank you. Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com, joining us today here on Pirate Radio Live. O's baseball on the way tonight as they take on the Tigers and continue playing pretty bad teams and hopefully, for the O's sake, racking up wins. We'll take a timeout, come back, wrap up hour number one. We'll talk some Pirate baseball in hour number two. No Trey Savage, it looks like, at least on Friday and Saturday for East Carolina. It'll be Carter Spivey on the bump on Friday and Josh Groves on Saturday. Also, Name That Sound coming up in hour number two. More on that when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates. They're open every day and have live music every night, along with 18 big screen TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesdays, it's line dancing. Thursday night is the dance party with DJ Kid Scene. And live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for more information on scheduled events, and we'll see you at the Buck.
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today, and then you hear
Warren's hot dogs?
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for only $6.25 would be awesome.
Warren's hot dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's hot dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers, or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates! Greetings, friends of Eastern North Carolina. If you're looking for a great place to work with competitive pay and a multitude of advancement opportunities, Pitt County Schools is hiring. We employ over 3,500 people, and we're one of the largest employers in Pitt County. We are currently seeking teachers, bus drivers, school nutrition personnel, facility staff, custodians, clerical staff, and more. We offer advanced leadership opportunities for our educators and competitive pay for our skilled labor force. If you want
want to be part of a thriving school system that focuses on educating students, growing our employees, and promoting positive mental and physical health initiatives, we encourage you to become a part of our Pitt County Schools family to help ensure success for the future of Eastern North Carolina. To fill out an application, visit our website today at pittschools.org. That's pittschools.org. And remember, education is truly a team effort. Pitt County Schools. Live and lead.
Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. UniversitySportswearENC.com is your one-stop shop for all promotional products for your business. With over 1 million items to shop from, UniversitySportswearENC.com offers high-quality products at prices to fit any budget. Visit UniversitySportswearENC.com for contact information and to get shopping. UniversitySportswearENC.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio.
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit GreenvilleAutoWorld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business today, come and see someone on our team at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard here in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier restaurant and bourbon authority. Jefferson's, Basil Hayden, Woodford Reserve, and a Midwinter Night's Dram are just a few of the incredible bourbon options. The Rick House features the very best steaks and fresh, made-from-scratch pastas. The Rick House can host your corporate event or special parties in the 3,000-square-foot banquet hall. Join the Rick House for Sunday brunch from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and for the wine tastings on the last Friday of every month. The Rick House.
Pirate Radio.
Here it is, a first down. Pirates.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by Pirate Water. Get ready to party, pirates. Go to drinkpiratewater.com to find your new treasure. 21 and older only. Pirate Water. Why be yourself when you can be a pirate? Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. East Plumbing, Viva Electric, and Roland Black Heating and Cooling have teamed up to form New Blue Service Group, offering Eastern North Carolina the best in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Same great local team, same great local service, just a new name. For plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services, go to callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
Alrighty, welcome back into the show. Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, Clip Brock. We got Brandon Manning joining us in a little bit. Hour 3, got Marcus Crandell, ECU Hall of Famer. Dominique Davis, former Pirate QB. And also part of our chat with Kerry Joseph, the assistant quarterbacks coach of the Seattle Seahawks, coming up as we talk a lot of football. Coming up in Hour 3, we'll talk some baseball momentarily. Quick look at the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by Da Buck.
Da Buck.
One run was scored in the Philadelphia-Seattle game today. It was an RBI single by a gentleman named Cody. Now, Cody begins with the letter K, K-O-D-Y. Do you know Cody's famous baseball? He's got a famous last name from the world of baseball. Chandler, do you know who that is? Cody with a K?
Is it Ripken?
Cody Ripken is incorrect. The K is a clue because this pitcher named all of his sons names that begin with the letter K.
Kerry Wood.
Due to strikeouts. It is not Kerry Wood. His name is Cody Clemens.
Oh.
Son of Roger Clemens.
Wow.
Cody Clemens got the only RBI today for the Phillies. That's all they needed, 1-0 over the Mariners. We didn't talk about this with Mark Brown or with anybody really in our baseball chats. We've been talking about the good, like the Pirates and the Orioles and surprise teams like that. The Dodgers are 500, 13-13. Very strange to see at this point in the season. Maybe things will change. Maybe it'll be a topic when we talk to Mark again in a couple of weeks. But they lose to the Pirates today. Pirates win the series over the Dodgers, 6-2. Was the final score today as Pittsburgh goes to 18-8 on the year. So break up the Buccos. The Braves trying to continue their ownership over the Miami Marlins, but they are in a rain delay right now. It is scoreless as they wait in the fourth inning. Cubs lead the Padres 4-1, and the Giants and Cardinals are scoreless. Alec Burleson is hitting as we speak. So we'll keep an eye on Burley as he is in the Cardinals lineup today, hitting fifth in the order. He's taking his first whack at it here in the second inning. So we'll keep you up to date on Burley and the Cardinals on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard presented by The Buck.
The Buck.
All right, Name That Sound coming up in 30 minutes-ish. And last week, come from behind victory for me over Chandler Honeycutt. Epic come from behind. One that they're still talking about at the water cooler. But Brandon Manning, I thought was going to join us in studio. Maybe he is a phoner. We'll call him.
He's a phoney.
No,
Maybe he's a phoner.
Ooh. He's running a couple minutes behind, so he will be here. So my question, Shirley, if Brandon is present for Name That Sound, and this is in wrestling, there's something called overbooking. Like you just want to see a one-on-one match. Forget all the interference, just a clean one-on-one match. But sometimes you got to overbook it. What do you think about an overbooked triple threat match today? First time ever, 3 contestants on Name That Sound: Clip Brock, Chandler Honeycutt, Brandon Manning.
I'm okay with it.
Chandler, how would you feel about that?
Why not? I mean, I've lost to one person every single time. And why not lose to 2?
This wouldn't go against your official record since it's a triple threat match. So it wouldn't be another loss. But if you somehow beat us, it wouldn't count as a win.
Okay. Just like when I beat Shirley and that didn't count. Oh,
that was All-Star Weekend. Yeah. Actually, if you win, it'll count. If you lose, it won't. How about that? It won't go against your official record.
No.
Which I think you're 0-9 at this point.
Yeah.
We counted that right? So if Brandon agrees, we'll have our first ever triple threat match of Name That Sound. Okay. All right. Everybody's cool with it. All right. We owe you a break, so let's take it right now. We'll come back. Brandon Manning will join us. We'll talk Pirate baseball and more. Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. We roll on a Thursday. Back with you after this.
Hey, John, I see your new system's having issues already.
Yeah, I used the other guy with an AC brand I've never heard of.
You should have used Delcor, John. They install Train. It's hard to stop a train.
I know, but the other guy was cheaper.
Cheaper isn't better, John.
I know.
Don't use the other guy. Call Delcor. For a limited time, buy a new Train system and pay 0% interest for 12 months. Visit Delcor.com for more details. Delcor, the service professionals.
Getting a Jersey Mike's sub top Mike's way with onion, lettuce, tomatoes, oregano, and the juice is the bee's knees. Actually, it's better than the bee's knees. I mean, what's the purpose of knees on bees? They don't crouch, they just buzz around. But Mike's Way has a purpose, topping your sub the authentic Jersey way. It's the cat's pajamas. Wait, cats don't wear pajamas. Mike's Way is better. Let's just leave it at that. Get your sub top Mike's Way. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
This is Dr. Josiah Duke from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. Our practice has been caring for the athletes at ECU and the residents of Eastern North Carolina for more than 35 years. Whether it's treatment for your sports injury or it's that time for a joint replacement, Orthopedics East provides the latest in operative and non-operative orthopedic care. We also offer on-site physical therapy and MRI services as well as walk-in urgent care on weekends from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call us at 757-BONE or visit us online at orthoeast.com. Go Pirates!
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick,
juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby. The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Fruitopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey, cheesy, crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously. But as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low, low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Coco's Sports Bar and Restaurant, located in the old Professor O'Cool's location, has daily lunch specials from 11 to 5, including their famous $1 wing special Monday through Wednesday all day long. Coco's has entertainment every Tuesday with country western night and karaoke on Thursday starting at 8. Take advantage of their weekly fresh fruit margarita specials and be sure to try the best Philly ribeye steak rolls in town while you're at it. Coco's Sports Bar and Restaurant, Greenville's Diamond in the Rough. Check them out on Facebook for more information. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Beauty Bar Metaspa. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Visit beautybarmetaspa.com to set up a free consultation. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. UBE has been an ECU tradition for over 50 years. You can shop online anytime at pirateware.com. UBE has the biggest and best selection of ECU sportswear and accessories for pirates of all ages. Every day is game day at UBE. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's Clip.
Back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday, NFL draft night. Something for everybody. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, baseball, and football for the football fans. Brandon Manning joining us here. More of the baseball, I would say, of that variety. Hello, Brandon.
Hey, well, I'm a multi-sport fan. I mean, I actually love to watch college basketball. Probably my favorite thing to watch is college basketball.
Are you excited to go to Minges and see Bobby Pettiford and Cam Hayes and all the guys Mike Schwartz is bringing in?
You know, I was talking to somebody the other day. You know, I grew up in Greenville, and there really wasn't a product to follow. So the product when I was growing up, you know, in my early 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, started in 1991, 92, 93, 90s, and early 2000s. Who was one of the better products out there? That was Duke. So I do follow Duke basketball games. I do go to a lot of Duke basketball games every year, but I'm here to tell you, if they play ECU, I will cheer for ECU. I will never wear blue to those games. And if ECU starts doing everything, I will be a season ticket holder for ECU basketball and never go to another Duke game.
Okay, all you had to say was, "Yeah, I'm excited." You didn't have to tell us
I'm pumped up for sure.
That you're a Cameron crazy. Like
that you're going to change your life. And
I will change my life and go season ticket holder.
So how many games do you go to a year now?
Duke?
No.
Okay.
ECU.
I probably went 5 or 6.
You go to games?
Yeah, I go to games.
Okay.
I probably went to 10 total college basketball games between Duke and ECU, maybe 12.
Can you make Brandon? Can you put Duke fan?
Jesus Lord!
I mean, you brought it up.
Jesus Lord!
I thought we were going to be excited about some Mike Schwartz.
I'm excited about Mike Schwartz. Talked to the guy a couple of times.
Okay.
Went to his first basketball camp last year with my son.
Great respect to you.
Great respect to Brandon Manning. He's a table beater. Chad is ready for Name That Sound. Quick question for you, Brandon. You going to hang out for Name That Sound today?
Yes.
You want to play?
Yes.
Triple threat match?
I'm with you. Let's go.
All right, he's in.
Triple threat?
1v1 versus 1.
Are we still owing?
Yeah. Oh, we had an epic game last week. Chandler much like who blew the 3-1 lead? Was it the Warriors?
Warriors against the Cavs.
Yeah, he blew a 3-1 lead. Hate/love to see it. All right, Brandon, what the H is going on?
We'll get to the state game in a minute. Wichita, we'll go with we'll start with Wichita last weekend. You can go back 2 weeks ago. You asked me for what I think. I said we're going to have that bad weekend. You asked me to pick a weekend, and what weekend did I pick? Anybody?
Well, Shirley was referencing that earlier this week, that you did say that would be what'd you call it? A trap?
Trap. That's going to be our trap weekend.
It turned out to be a crap weekend.
It did. We go out there. I hate to say it was colder, but it was colder. First off, we don't do good and cold. I'm going to say that. You talk crap about me on the radio for saying that all the time. But players can say what they want to. I hated playing in the cold. Everybody hates playing in the cold. It's just a fact of life. But when you take happened earlier on in the season, and we talked to, I don't know if it was Garrett Saylor or Savage, one of your first interviews on a year, routine. When you take a guy who's used to, all right, I'm going to get to the ballpark at 12 o'clock. I'm going to go get loose, go do some things at 2, 3, 4 o'clock, go in and sit down for a little bit, come out, start my bullpen session, and then start pitching at 6. And then you tell that guy, we're not even going to do that on Friday night. We're going to move it to Saturday. He was not in his routine is off. Everybody's routine is off for the Friday, Saturday. Now Sunday, different story. We just crap the bed.
Can I play devil's advocate? Both teams got delayed.
That's fine.
Okay.
Which teams are sleeping in their beds though?
Yeah.
I mean,
like that old R&B song. I can't remember who sang it. Sleeping in my bed, playing with my head.
Drew Hill.
Thank you, Shirley.
Drew Hill.
Yep.
Sweet. Love their hair. Wasn't one of them the blonde ones?
Yeah.
Was Cisco and Drew Hill?
There you go, Brandon. Okay. Showing off. Good job.
All right. They did the Wild Wild West theme soundtrack too.
Okay, I did not know that. You were ready to go for Name That Sound.
I am. I've been studying Name That Sound. But yeah, devil's advocate, you're right. But it just throws you off, especially when you're not in your bed, not in your town, not in your fans. And the big thing is we do like playing in Greenville. You cannot discredit that. We love playing in front of 5,000 screaming, purple and gold cheering SOBs, and that's just the way we're going to be all year.
The numbers are crazy, Brandon, between home and away.
You know what? It really is. We hit better. We throw better. We field better. Is Wichita turf?
Yeah, because they kept bouncing it through the infield for base hits, yeah.
So, there's always that perfect storm of things that can happen to you, and then we just let it, I think, snowball and get in our heads, and it just got to us, and we lost. Hey, by the way, Pirate social media people, Campbell lost yesterday to an unranked Elon. Are we ready to talk about their coach being fired too?
Nobody's saying Firecliff.
Nobody's saying Firecliff.
You're being straw man right now.
Who's saying Firecliff?
Nobody's saying Firecliff.
He's being sensitive.
But what I'm saying is, you're gonna lose in baseball. Freaking Devil Rays has lost 2 in a row.
That's crazy.
That's insane. 2 in a row. They started off undefeated. They were going to go undefeated the whole year if you asked everybody on the daggone social media post.
Stop saying everybody.
Daggone right.
Virginia got swept by Notre Dame.
I get it. Everybody loses.
Everybody loses in baseball.
We've lost 4 in a row.
We've lost 4 in a row. Now, to the state game.
Yeah.
1 bad inning.
Well, I talked with Patrick Mason about it. If East Carolina had won the series against Wichita, even won 1 game against Wichita, I think we're coming out of that state game saying more like, man, Good college baseball game, two good teams. Pirates fought back, had it. You know what I mean?
Right. You're 100% right.
But since it was the fourth straight loss, it's that snowball. You know.
State was amped for that game. I think they were treating that like their tryout. No, they have not had a good year for NC State baseball. State over the last 20-25 years has been a tremendous program.
We were amped for that game too.
We were, but their players were just ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean, we embarrassed them last time, by coming back and beating them. They've coming off 3 losses and playing at home. They did not want to lose at home around all those people. So I would like to know that last call that kept from going from second to third. Cliff didn't argue that a whole lot, so obviously the response given to him was acceptable.
So Brandon, you got those coaches meetings before the games, right? And they go over things like that. Like if it goes here, it's out of play.
It was, but if you look at the catcher, he flipped it, and the ball never went in the dugout. It ran down the stuff.
Ump's calling time. The ball's rolling. The catcher picks up the ball, which is outside of the dugout.
So I don't understand.
I thought he had already started his turn, Riley Johnson to third anyway, before all that.
They didn't do like a split screen to really look at if he had made it to second when the ball was touched originally.
Yeah.
I thought at worst case they were just gonna give him third because dead ball. He had already rounded and he was there, and I think that's what should have happened. But, I don't have a vote in that, neither do you.
And I think you had a strikeout and fly out after that, but that at bat changes with the runner on third. Cliff's not afraid to squeeze it there or do things like that.
That's right.
So.
Now, one of those strikeouts, I do want to say again, yes, there was a strikeout looking, but if you go look, I think it was Cam Clonch. That pitcher just needs to be applauded.
Let's talk about Moylan's strikeout.
Moylan
outside, strike one. Inside corner, which was a strike. Strike two. Outside again for strike three.
Did he swing the bat?
Not a single time.
Not a single time.
He's got to swing it.
I do have a problem with not getting the bat off your shoulders in that situation.
And he knows that because we talked to him Monday, and he has talked about how you have to adjust to what the ump is calling. That third strike was the same spot as the first strike. Neither one might have been strikes, Brandon, but they were called strikes.
From the angle that they give us in college baseball, it's hard to tell if it's 100% a strike, not a strike. They don't do the pitch box up there, but I would say the old adage is if it's close enough to be called, it's close enough to swing at.
Especially that situation.
In that situation, you want to put the bat on the ball. You have a fast runner. You want to get him in or over. That's what's all going on. But Cam Clonch, that guy, got a strike. Cam fouled a ball off 2, I think. Then that guy just threw a Greg Maddux 2-seam fastball and locked his knees up, and it was a great pitch. If our guy throws that pitch in the same situation and gets the same results, we're telling him he's the best pitcher in the world.
He had him all mixed up.
He did one of those, just complete breakdown of the inner half of his body, and it was a great pitch. And you got to give him credit. Sometimes a great pitch is going to win.
So. Yeah. All right, on to Tulane. Corey Glore will join us to preview the series from the Tulane side coming up on Friday. Also on Friday, Mayor P.J. Connolly will join us to talk about the new potential CPL team coming to Greenville. You excited about that?
I am. I think we need to get a pirate poll for what the name should be.
You think we should, Brandon? Well, guess what? We've done that.
Have you really?
Yep, and we've got the answers for you. And what a segue. Put it up last night.
It's like we rehearsed this.
It is, but we did not. What should the name be of the Greenville Coastal Plains League team? And let's go. You want to go through some of the answers here?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Juan says Flounder.
Skip it.
Greenville Flounder.
No, skip it.
Greenville Peg Legs, says Brooks.
All right.
That's cool. Okay. Odom, Greenville Local Politicians. That is a reference to Pirate Radio. Joshua says Greenville Banana Hammocks. People are having fun. Pirate Drip says Greenville Smoke. Tie in the history of tobacco, and it's like smoke, like a fastball. A ball with smoke coming out.
I like you.
All right, we're going to get a lot of these. Greenies, says Stephen Asby, Destry. That is the old name, right?
So I don't, that's the old name, but there's already a Greenie League in Greenville, so to speak. Greenville has their that's the name of their league. And if you want to distinguish this as more than just about Greenville Parks and Recreation, I don't like calling it the Greenies.
Fair.
That's just my opinion. Who knows?
Steve says Greenville River Riders.
Does it have to be called Greenville? Can it be a Tar River?
Redbeard says Tar River Toxic Adventures. No. It doesn't have to be Greenville. I looked at the teams yesterday. You know some of these teams like Wilson, but there's one called Tri-Cities.
Yeah, there's Tri-Cities. There's Morehead City Marlins, which is pretty much town that goes with something. What is Greenville famous for? Pirates. But we can't say Pirates, and for copyright reasons and all sorts of stuff, we can't probably be purple and gold and all grades of stuff. So I mean, this is not an easy decision.
It's not.
This is crazy. We'll have to deliberate this.
Colby says Jungle Cats or the Greenville Guys.
Tar River Swamp Donkeys.
That is a name that Brandon just said. Chad says the Golden Leafs. Once again, going back to the tobacco.
Chad Moore's on top of things.
Brad says the Greenville Sea Turtles. That would be a cool hat.
See, we're not a sea town. We're more of a swamp and river town.
Oh, I see.
So,
all right. So Daniil says Greenville Sea Goats. Would you change that to Greenville Swamp Goats? River Goats?
River Goats, maybe. But when you think of it, like somebody says, man, he's just a donkey out there in the mound, like unbelievable baseball.
That is actually a compliment in baseball.
That is a compliment in baseball term.
Yeah. Greenville Buccaneers. Greenville Grits, says Steve Kirkendall.
Steve Kirkendall, like Coach Kirkendall?
Don't know.
Okay.
Another Greenville Greenies. Greenville Tar Pits. Greenville Gamblers. Call it the G Vegas Gamblers. What do you think about that?
G Vegas Gamblers. I actually am not against that.
But it's not going to happen because gambling is illegal here for now. Chandler, not that Chandler. Chandler Noble says the Greenville Green Stockings. It's got an old classic name to it.
What? So there was a minor league team here before the Greenies. What were they? After the Greenies. Oh, that might have been Kent. I know there's an old wood bat in my parents' house, and it's like it might be the Eagles.
Okay.
That's not weird. That's not good enough.
I'll ask PJ about the history and maybe.
Or maybe we should go like what the high school that plays there and just go with an adjective, not really an actual name, like a fictitious.
Oh,
symbol.
like the Rampants or the Griffons?
Yes, but Rampant is running rampantly around. I mean, it's really not a real thing.
Steve says Mateys.
I'm going to get in trouble for that comment. Sorry, guys.
Greenville Mud Muscles.
What?
The Greenville Fighting Marvin Jarmans.
Now we're talking.
Or how about this would be like
Brent Anderson, Stabler, my buddy. That's a good one.
But make it like the Marjars, like you were saying with the two words combined. The Marjars. Or the Marmons. The Mermen. Wasn't that a team? Was that Eastbound and Down?
The Mermen.
What's the song? Yeah.
You know what? Never watched a single episode. I was told that was right up my alley.
Myrtle Beach Mermen? Yeah.
Okay. I was told it was right up my alley. Never watched one.
Brandon, that would be your favorite show.
Yeah.
Greenville Terminators, Greenville Gorillas, Greenville Shad.
That's Grifton. So there was a wood bat team in Grifton, like when I was in college. They played in like a different league. It was called the Grifton Mets. They were pretty fun to watch.
Newton says Greenville Q's for our barbecue heritage. Well, you could come up with some cool logos for that.
Greenville Pork Bellies.
Yeah. Jason says Greenville Pit Vipers. Okay.
Where's the reference? It's got to have a reference to something cool. This is an ongoing. We just need to pick a top 7 or 8. Go with it.
All right, couple more. We got 2 questions here for Brandon. We'll take a break. Play Name That Sound. Brandon, is hosting a super regional still on the table?
Of course. I don't know what our RPI is after this past weekend. Clip can find that out for us rather quickly. We actually have a better chance this year than we did last year, currently speaking. Last year there was a nice plan laid out. I still think we need to win the conference, which is definitely going to happen. I want to think Wichita and Tulane play, or Wichita and somebody else play again, and they're at the top right now. So it's definitely going to shake up some.
We are 19th currently, Brandon.
19th. If we can win our conference, get that RPI back down to where it should be, there's no doubt a super regional is in not too far fetched.
All right.
We have to win the conference to make it happen this year.
Jamie also asked, do you think we could be stealing more bases? Our team leader is Luke Nowak. He's got double-digit steals. Hoove is like at 8. We looked at it yesterday with Patrick Mason. But do you want to see more active base runners?
So there's a few guys on our team that are able to steal bases. Nowak, one of the fastest people on the team. Hoover is a good base stealer. But Riley Johnson, also pretty fleet of foot. With the way we do with our bunting and our moving runners over, typically we would rather get them over, knock them in on the easier, more foolproof way, historically speaking. I like to steal bases. That's the way that we played growing up, and that's the way that a lot of guys that I played with like to go. But we're not a great base stealing team. Number one, a lot of pitchers really key on us when we get on first. And do a very good job of holding us on.
God, we saw that the other night. Was it when Riley Johnson came in to pinch run Chandler? They kept throwing over and just about got him twice.
It was close.
We thought they got him twice.
Yeah. They're keying on us because we do so much different stuff with fake bunting and bunting for a hit. We use a bunt for a hit, like a hit and run sometimes, and we do some hit and runs. But outside of those handful of guys, I love Josh, great guy. Not a speed demon, Josh Moylan, believe it or not.
But led the team in triples last year.
Somehow.
Yeah.
There was a heart attack in the outfield 2 times or something. That's how it happened. But speaking of speed demons, look at that guy run.
Let's take a break. Were you done with your point?
Stealing bases, I would like to see more. It's just not in our game with our current roster.
We'll take a break, come back. If you want to talk more baseball, you can throw out a question, comment. If you have a name for the Greenville CPL team, you can throw that out there. But also, we will be playing Name That Sound. That's coming up. Rest of hour number 2. Back with more after these words.
Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi-Spa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations available. Visit us at beautybarmedispa.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Enjoy your visit. Love your transformation. Go Pirates!
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you've just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles Juicy Golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's bow time.
Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is your one-stop service shop. It doesn't matter the make or model. If you live in or near Beaufort County, you need to check out the super nice service facility at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. They're open 6 days a week and offer Saturday service from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram also takes walk-ins all day, and they specialize in off-road packaging. Washington Off-Road specializes in budget-friendly adventure packages for Jeep, Ram, and all other makes. And if you're in the market for a used car or truck, General Manager Kyle Gaines and his great staff have been stocking up their used car inventory, and they can now offer vehicles from $59.99 and up. New Rams, Jeeps, Chrysler, and Dodge cars, and a terrific used car inventory of all makes and models. The place to go is Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Highway 264 in Washington. Drive a little, save a lot.
Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
This is Aaron Williams with Ease Plumbing.
This is Mike Hoggart with Viva Electric.
This is Mark McGlawhorn, Roland Black Heating and Cooling.
We have teamed up to form New Blue Service Group, offering Eastern North Carolina the best in plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Same great local team, same great local service, just a new name. Contact us at callnewblue.com. That's callnublue.com. New Blue Service Group, where we are redefining service excellence. Call us today to help with your plumbing, electrical, and HVAC services. Go Pirates.
Hey Wood Ducks fans, be sure to purchase your single game tickets online at woodducksbaseball.com. Have a big group? No problem. Book your group tickets by calling our front office at Granger Stadium. This year's schedule features the return of daily themes including Tribute Tuesday, Winning and Wind Down Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Mother Earth Friday, Pepsi Saturday, and Dogs and Dogs Day. Make sure to follow the Down East Wood Ducks on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook so you don't miss anything. We hope to see you out at Granger Stadium all season long. Let's go Woodies!
Do you ever talk to yourself about where to eat today? And then you hear,
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Then you're thinking, yeah, 2 hot dogs, chips, and a drink for only $6.25 would be awesome.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
And maybe some homemade lemonade, perhaps a pizza or a sub, and definitely an apple or peach turnover.
Warren's Hot Dogs.
Don't overthink where to eat today. Go to Warren's Hot Dogs in Greenville across from Ron Ayers or in Chocowinity next to the fire station. Warren's Hot Dogs, serving the Pirate Nation since 1991. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
All of our last names are ECU.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Beauty Bar Metaspa. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Visit beautybarmetaspa.com to set up a free consultation. Now, back to the show.
A little tight with these headphones on. Welcome back. Be sure to visit one of ECU graduate Brandon Tate's U.S. Cellular locations and experience the highest standard of customer service. The purpose of the Atlantic Wireless Store experience is to inform, illuminate, and inspire. Find the location near you at AtlanticWireless.com. Atlantic Wireless, we go beyond the call. And Clip, got a news update in the NFL. The Baltimore Ravens have agreed to a 5-year extension with Lamar Jackson.
Ooh.
So the deal is done.
Okay.
No money as far as a money amount has been released as of yet, but they have got a deal now.
Wow. All right, so there goes that. Thought there would be some. You remember I was building up to this draft and mentioning Lamar Jackson, what happens with that, maybe something on draft night, but this is kind of the boring option of that with him signing a deal, staying in Baltimore. Josh Moylan will be happy about that. Couple of names. So, Brandon, you mentioned, does it have to be Greenville with the CPL team? Could it be something different? Here's one. How about the Emerald City River Rats? Emerald City as a name.
Green. All right. I like it.
Okay. Now, how about we combine, this is Joe on Twitter, we combine Joe's Emerald City with your wife's name suggestion and go Emerald City Green Sox.
Shirley gets that vote. Shirley, Green Sox.
Yeah, that's not bad.
They do have a taller than normal wall at the guy.
That is green.
That is
no.
It's black. They got black windscreen.
Oh, darn. Okay.
I think it could be green if you put $1 million worth of improvements on there.
Well, somebody, speaking of River Rats, I think I read somewhere somebody suggested River Raiders.
So there was
Raiders.
Hold on. There was a.
We got to get the name of that sound.
Coastal. Yeah, there was a Coastal Plains team from New Bern that was an upstart. I don't think it stayed with it, and they were the River Rats or River Dogs or something like that. I need to look that up.
You can call ECU grad Brandon Manning with Farm Bureau Insurance 531-1812. Call them today. You can schedule a review of your home, auto, life insurance with a trusted and experienced agent. Call Brandon today, 531-1812 to schedule a review. Get a free quote. Located in Winterville, Beacon Drive, right there in Winterville, close to the Chick-fil-A. All right, let's get into it. We're going to go triple threat today. Me versus Chandler versus Brandon. Shirley, hit the intro.
Come on in.
Even this game gets an intro.
Sit right down. We always forget Brandon's intro.
Take a guess.
I know.
It's name that sound.
Sorry, man. That's me. That's on me.
Turn that frown.
And I got this cool hat and everything.
Upside down. Because it's time.
Summer camp.
But name that sound. Now, here's the host of Name That Sound, Miss Shirley Rose.
Thank you, and welcome into another edition of Name That Sound as Cliff is trying to fix his hat. As we are going to play another round of Name That Sound. The game is simple. I play a sound. Are you listening, Brandon? Are you playing a sound, and then you have to guess what the sound is? Lord have mercy, I can't take these.
This is my game plan today.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the sound going fully to his ear, and it's going to distract him.
That's not enough. This is enough.
That's a knife.
I don't need a gun. I got a donk.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to get things underway. It is a three-way
Get my hand right.
battle for King of Name That Sound. And, gentlemen, here is your first sound.
For all of our diehard fans out there who have been with us since the very beginning, which was 27 years ago.
Ooh.
What year was that put out?
For all of our diehard fans out there that have...
For all of our diehard fans out there who have been with us since the very beginning, which was 27 years ago.
R.I.P.
He was only 79.
And evidently had pancreatic cancer, and it got him pretty quickly. All right. So Clip is on the board. Here we go. Next sound.
The little balls that go back and forth on the hand.
Just give it.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it.
Yeah, they're called clackers. But you are correct, Brandon.
Okay. Thank you. No objections to that, or
no? If anybody knows balls going back and forth on the hand,
it
would be you.
It's definitely Brandon Manning.
All right. Okay.
I don't know how to
sound.
take that reference.
I don't either.
Here we go. Next sound.
Leo's Maxwell Jr.
Key and Peele. The college football name that person.
Leo's Maxwell.
I just have to play it again.
Leo's Maxwell Jr. East Carolina University.
Carolina.
Marquavius Cicilline de Leon.
Clyde. T. Billings Clyde.
If you've never seen that skit, now look it up on YouTube. It's hysterical. All right, here we go. Next sound. We're flying through this one.
Whoa!
Bill and Ted.
Do it again.
Whoa!
I mean, it's not Bill and Ted?
No.
Okay.
Joey Lawrence.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
No.
Okay.
Great movie.
The guy from Step by Step.
No. Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Cody?
Yeah. Cody, yeah.
He was also in like a not Mortal Kombat.
I want to say was it a Mortal Kombat movie?
No, it was like Jean-Claude Van Damme got taken off a series of movies. What was it?
Whoa!
Anyways,
Any guesses?
Good Burger?
No.
Whoa. I don't know that one.
Give up?
Yeah.
Very disappointed in you, Chandler, because that is Dorothy Zbornak from Golden Girls.
Oh.
Whoa!
I hear it now.
The Golden Girls fan couldn't get it.
Sorry. I did get a question right the other night.
There's not a button
even though
on
we
one
weren't
side.
playing at tiebreakers. But there was a Golden Girls. He named all the Golden Girls except one, and it was Dorothy.
Wow.
But there's a thing here.
There is a button thing.
All right,
I don't
sorry.
understand it.
Okay, here we go. I'm waiting for you to put your headphones back on so you can hear. All right, are we
Hold
good?
on, I can't hear.
Just take the hat off, man. Put it on the mic.
All right, here we go. Next sound.
Mixing
eggs. It's eggs.
Nope.
Oh, man.
Stirring tea or coffee.
Brandon's got it.
Wow. Good work.
So as it stands, after the first round of sounds, Clip and Brandon are tied at 2 apiece. Chandler has 0.
Shocker.
We can just call this a one-on-one match, I guess.
Shocker. I'm just over here and playing. So.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Next sound.
Marching band.
Oh, that is
No.
washboard.
Nope.
A washing machine.
Nope. One more time.
Hold on.
What is that? Is it an appliance?
A pogo stick.
He is correct.
I'm on the board, baby.
I wanted to say trampoline, but I was like, no, that's not a trampoline. But yeah, there you go. Good job,
Chandler.
Thanks,
Chandler
guys.
is now on the board.
You can put it on the board.
Yes.
Here we go. Next sound.
Muppets.
I am
Animal.
looking. You are correct. I was looking for a specific Muppet.
Man, Chandler, how many times in this game have you served me up an alley-oop?
Well, here's the thing. I can't tell you one single Muppet.
Beaker? You don't know Beaker?
My man don't know
Gonzo?
Beaker.
Waka waka waka. Nothing.
This man don't know Beaker.
It's very disappointing.
All
All
right.
right. Clip is in the lead with
waka,
3
waka.
points. Brandon has 2. Chandler has 1. All right. Next sound.
Now it's from little misdemeanors that major
Barney
felonies.
Fife. Annie Griffith.
You are correct.
Dan.
Wait a minute.
Wait, you got it?
I said Barney Fife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said 25. But I'll give
I
Chandler
did,
said
I
it
did
first.
not.
I said it first. All right.
Yeah, I did not hear you, Brandon.
I'm going to be
sorry.
like Clip the last time. No, we're going to go during the replay and we're going to play it back. No, we're fine.
Brandon
That
said
happened
it,
last time.
but Chandler got it
I
first.
said it really quickly. Because Chandler, yeah.
Do you want to go back to the tape?
No.
Now it's
Okay. Whoops. That was the wrong one.
Now it.
Okay. Here we go.
Andy.
All right. Here we go.
Bugs Bunny.
Yodeler.
No.
Was that the thing in Price is Right where they're going up the hill?
Oba-doobie, oba-doobie,
You are
oba-doobie.
correct,
Thank
sir.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. It is.
Yes.
By the way, the name of the game is called Cliffhangers.
What the?
And it's
I can't take you seriously with that.
It is an actual polka song that they use.
What did you say?
Oh my God! I always sing that.
Yeah.
Oba-doobie, 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 oh.
Yep, that would be the one. Except I cut it off because I knew you would catch it. That's why I had to only use that one little piece.
That is like taunting me.
Yes.
Good job,
That's
Brandon.
like throwing a Golden Girls reference and not getting it.
Pretty much. Now I'm the simp.
At least I got the Andy Griffith one right.
You did. Sound like it, too.
All right, we're going to play this one, and then we're going to take a quick break before we play the final round.
That hurt.
I know.
Ping pong. Ping pong.
Brandon got it. So.
Good job, Brandon.
What are you doing over there?
I said bye. Then I said,
All right.
Gotta go into
so
it
we're going to
like they
take a
did.
quick break as we blew through the first 2 rounds of Name That
Great
Sound.
game.
This is exhilarating.
Yes, and I was quite surprised because I really thought I had picked some hard ones. So, as it stands right now through 2 rounds, we have Brandon in the lead with 4 points. Clip is in second place with 3 points. And Chandler, not too far behind, he's got 2.
What a game.
We got ourselves a ball game, folks. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the last round of Name That Sound will be back in just a couple of minutes.
Here with Jeff Stahn at Brown & Wood. Jeff, how can you help people with service in 2023?
We continue to offer free pickup and drop off for the customers, and our customers' time is valuable. So we've added 3 additional Express Lube technicians to reduce wait time. That's our #1 goal for 2023. And please don't forget, we service all makes and models. We're voted #1 in Greenville by the customer. Come see us at 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard.
Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory of ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young pirates to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking in Uptown Greenville. Visit them online at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Take control of your health
today with ArcPoint Labs. Are you a woman interested in your overall health? The ArcPoint Labs Women's Health Panel is a routine wellness check that tests hormone levels, thyroid function, cholesterol levels, complete blood count, and more. A simple blood test at ArcPoint Labs can provide some answers to why you're not feeling your best. Visit arcpointlabs.com today or call 629-6228. ArcPoint Labs. Accurate, reliable, confidential testing. Visit arcpointlabs.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
Big jobs on big properties demand a big side-by-side. A side-by-side like the first ever Honda Pioneer 1000 Deluxe Crew. This flagship model delivers serious power and performance where you need it most. Even more, it offers best-in-class comfort for 6 occupants with back seat legroom beyond compare. As for build quality, we'll let the Honda name speak for itself. Head to Ron Ayers Motorsports and see the all-new Pioneer 1000 Deluxe Crew today. On approved credit, see dealer for details.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates. They're open every day and have live music every night, along with 18 big screen TVs to watch all your favorite sporting events. Tuesday, it's karaoke with DJ Captain Morgan. Wednesdays, it's line dancing. Thursday night is the dance party with DJ Kid Scene. And live music every Friday and Saturday night with the best bands on the East Coast. Follow the Buck on Instagram for more information on scheduled events, and we'll see you at the Buck.
At US Cellular, you can get one line for just $29.99 with unlimited data, which is good news for you, friendly hermit who shuns society and lives in a cabin all by himself.
Wow, thanks. You know, you'd be surprised how much data a hermit goes through.
Actually, I'm not that surprised at all. US Cellular, built for us. Terms apply. Visit uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Your vehicle is a big part of your life. That's why you should trust the team at Greenville Auto World for all your vehicle needs. Greenville Auto World believes in fair prices, superior service, and treating customers right. Visit greenvilleautoworld.net to see their fully stocked inventory of SUVs, trucks, and cars. Need a lift kit, custom rims, or wheels? Greenville Auto World can upgrade your vehicle today. For sales or service, visit Greenville Auto World on Highway 43 in Greenville.
This is Kim McNeil, head women's basketball coach at East Carolina University, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Beauty Bar Metaspa. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Visit beautybarmetaspa.com to set up a free consultation. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. 5th Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room is your favorite place in downtown Greenville for lunch, dinner, or drinks with friends. 5th Street Hardware serves lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Plus, they serve brunch starting at 10:30 on Saturdays and Sundays. And you can follow 5th Street on Instagram for the latest events and specials. 5th Street Hardware Restaurant and Tap Room, right beside the State Theater in Greenville. And welcome back to Pirate Radio Live. I am Shirley Rhodes, and we are in the midst of Name That Sound. We have completed 2 rounds so far, and right now, Brandon Manning is in the lead as we have 3 contestants this week. He has 4 points, and Clip has 3 points, and Chandler has 2 points heading into the final round. And we will go ahead and play your next sound. Gentlemen, are you ready?
Ready.
Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. Next sound.
Better hide your baby oil. Better hide that big-ass forehead.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in one of the Fast and Furious movies.
Fast and Furious 6.
Yes, but I was looking for Dwayne Johnson. But yes, you are correct, sir.
And the very handsome African-American guy, Tyrese.
Tyrese.
There we go.
Yep.
Not Marcus.
That was also
I could have been. I could have been talking about you, but
Marcus Crandell coming up in 10 minutes.
Look at
little side note.
He can't hear. He can't hear what you're saying, so he has nothing.
Look, he's walking out of the studio. I don't know what you said, but he just walked out.
Let's get him in here. Is he walking around?
Yeah,
Come
he's
sit in
coming
here
around.
with us. Brandon was talking about attractive African American men.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson, and I said, the very attractive African American guy. That I said Tyrese. I said not Marcus Crandell, but
but Marcus will be joining
Marcus
us.
definitely.
Here soon.
It's Tyrese, and they're like a 1A and 1B.
Right,
man.
Oh, I appreciate
By the way,
I appreciate
that scene in that movie, if you remember, after The Rock says that, Ludacris spits out his drink in the scene.
Not a planned scene.
Not a planned scene because The Rock improvised that scene. So him spitting out the water was actually a genuine reaction to The Rock's
It was beer.
line in there.
It was Corona
Beer.
Extra.
Yeah.
Here's a question: before wrestling, what did The Rock do before then?
Well, we all know.
Football player.
Oh, right.
At the U.
At the U.
Where
At
else?
the U.
Where else?
He did get drafted.
He tried out somewhere before.
Was it
guess.
San Diego?
I think it before he started his wrestling career.
That's why he's big with the XFL, because like that particular number was his number. There's a story behind that.
Where's the team? Who's
He
the team?
tried out for the Calgary Stampeders and got released.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
He also worked out for NFL.
There goes Marcus again, Cliff.
Oh,
I know.
man, I'm sorry.
Obnoxious Marcus knows everything.
No, I don't.
All right. So right now,
I know a little bit about something.
A little bit about a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
Brandon is in the lead with 5 points. Clip's got 3. Chandler's got 2. Next sound.
Sports Center.
Batista. Dun 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 dun.
Did I say Sports Center?
Dun, dun, dun.
No, it's not Sports Center.
No, stop playing it. Stop playing it. Dun 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 dun. Hold on. Brock Lesnar.
You are
Jeez
correct,
Louise.
sir.
I could have been here all day long. Not
Took me forever.
You're like, stop saying stories in the
Now, Shirley, when I say things like that, you don't obviously have to listen to me. That's
Obviously
me being
not.
selfish and
Yeah.
not wanting them.
She's not gonna
Well,
listen to you.
the best
I know.
one was that one where you told Brandon not to answer because he knew the answer.
Brandon, stop talking.
Just
Stop
like,
thinking.
don't answer it.
I'm gonna kill this fly in a minute. Too.
Your mind goes dead now. All right.
All right, here we go. Next sound.
Phone ringing.
People, when we're doing a live show, the
That-
phone ringing is not helping.
That should count, Brandon.
should
honestly,
count.
if another sound happens.
She says
Yes.
the next sound,
Yeah.
and then there's a phone ringing.
Yeah, well, that's not the next one.
Rigged.
All right, here we go.
He makes the weapons. I use them.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Incorrect.
You're incorrect.
He makes the weapons. I use them.
I've seen that movie. Is it? It's not James Bond.
Nope. But you are correct. It is a movie.
Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
He makes the weapons. I use them.
And Mel Gibson
Man,
is
that
incorrect.
sounds like Arnold. He makes
No,
the
it's
weapons.
not
Bruce Willis.
Incorrect.
He makes the weapons. I use them.
He
Batman.
makes the weapons.
Yes.
I use them.
What?
Incorrect.
Is it a villain?
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
He makes the weapons.
I would have thought Batman.
I use them.
When Morgan Freeman made the weapons, and then
He
the
used
Dark Knight uses them.
Right.
But she said no.
No.
Green
No,
Lantern.
No.
Why do you always? Why is that your go-to superhero?
Because Seth Rogen
Green
was in
Lantern?
it.
Have I said that before?
I feel like you
Yes.
have.
You always go DC whenever you throw out a comic book
Is it
character.
Suicide Squad?
No, that is incorrect.
I don't know what it is. We got to
Gentlemen,
move along.
okay, we got to move
Go
along.
ahead.
The answer is he's referring to a guy by the name of Whistler, a.k.a. Wesley Snipes in Blade.
Blade. God, yes.
I don't
The
like
phrase is
He makes the weapons.
they
I
have
use
an
them.
arrangement. Whistler makes the weapons, he uses them.
I don't like when you do that, Shirley.
What?
When you reference something that I talked about like a day or two before.
Uh-huh.
Because it makes me like a fool.
Uh-huh.
And you know that.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, let's
trying to
move
help
on.
you out.
How many more questions we got right here?
We have 2 more sounds, and then we have our bonus sound.
Okay.
Next sound.
The fact that I'm not Instagramming this right now is insane.
James Charles.
No.
The fact that I'm not Instagramming this right now is insane.
The show on ABC, Modern Family.
No.
The fact that I'm not Instagramming this right now is insane.
Bleeps Creek.
Nope.
The fact that I'm not Instagramming this right now is insane.
Is it even a show?
No, it is actually a movie.
The fact that I'm not Instagramming this right now is insane.
So it had to be a more recent movie. I
feel like I've seen this.
Mm-hmm.
More
Pretty
recent.
sure you have.
So Chandler can't get upset because it's probably more recent because it's on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I'm not Instagramming this right now is insane.
Well, it's not Cocaine Bear. We just had that one.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I try not to repeat. 5.
I'm going to know this, but I don't know.
Nah, go with it.
That would be Jack Black from Jumanji.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, you haven't?
I've seen the Robin Williams.
Okay.
The real Jumanji.
The real
That's
Jumanji.
right.
Play it again.
This is when Jack Black.
Doesn't matter
The
now.
fact
You
that I'm
can't
not
get it
Instagramming
right.
this right now is insane.
But I hear Jack Black now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to see if I can hear Jack.
Yeah, it's where he takes on the persona of one of the girls when he gets trapped in the game.
Yeah.
All right, last sound for this round.
Let's go.
Huh?
What's the score?
I'm still winning.
Oh, Brandon
5-4.
has 5. You have 4. Chandler has 2.
All right.
I believe that fate
Macy Gray!
has brought us here.
Chandler's like, who the heck's Macy Gray?
That's actually the name of our cat back home.
Oh, even worse.
Oh.
Worse.
Oh, man. That hurts deep.
Good game, Brandon.
Right.
All right. Would you care to hear the bonus sound?
I
Because it's worth 1 trillion points.
1 trillion points.
do. It wasn't last week. But
No, it was only like a point last week.
Somebody go look at the tape and see if there's any way that maybe
So
I
we're
said,
looking at the tape on this.
I said May before he said Macy Gray.
Is it when you start or when you finish?
It's who finishes first.
He
Yeah, it
got it.
is.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it is.
I'm upset.
Here we go. Next one.
That's
Or bonus sound.
That's not
Bonus
anything to
sound.
brag about, Brandon.
Bonus sound.
Finished too early.
If I'm thirsty, I don't want you to bring me a glass of water. I want you to sip.
White man can't jump.
Yes, sir.
What a performance.
Rosie
You know what?
Perez.
You know what? I'm going to be a good sport, and I'm going to say congratulations, Brandon. That was a
Well
very
done,
impressive
sir.
performance.
Well done. Well
In
done.
front of a Hall of Famer.
In front of a Hall of Famer.
How about that?
Yes.
Man.
So Brandon finished with 7 points. Clip 4. Chandler. Dose.
Does that make that was the rubber match between Clip and I?
That was, yeah. Well, this was a special edition.
Wait a minute. No, so we're not counting that?
Yeah, as a special edition win, we're still 1-1 against each other, 1-on-1. you got to know how to sell it to build.
Carolina
these
fans coming out of you. I mean,
Whoa, the Duke fan is coming out of you.
Cameron crazy over here. Don't bring me into your ACC love. Brandon Manning can be found on Beacon Drive in Winterville. He can be called 252-531-1812, and you can review your home, auto, and life insurance with a trusted and experienced agent, Brandon Manning, with Farm Bureau Insurance, with our ECU baseball report, and a very impressive Name That Sound win.
right. Y'all go to the ballpark, watch social media for ECU baseball for game changes. Clip. Hope you do a good job in this weekend.
Thank you, buddy. We'll see you out there.
All right.
Thank you, Brandon. When we return, Marcus Crandell. We'll talk NFL draft. Dominique Davis going to join us. And we'll have a lot more coming up in hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
Hey, John, I see your new system's having issues already.
Yeah, I used the other guy with an AC brand I've never heard of.
You should have used Delcor, John. They install Train. It's hard to stop a train.
I know, but the other guy was cheaper.
Cheaper isn't better, John.
I know.
Don't use the other guy. Call Delcor. For a limited time, buy a new Train system and pay 0% interest for 12 months. Visit Delcor.com for more details. Delcor, the service professionals.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
In studio today with Frank Lee with Appliances Superstore. Frank, why should people go see you?
We make buying appliances easy, just that simple. We have the largest selection of in-stock appliances in Eastern North Carolina, which helps our customers save money every day. We offer a 12-month warranty on our appliances, plus we deliver and set up your new appliances and remove your old ones. Come visit us at the Appliances Superstore off 264 behind the new DMV or shop us online at appliancessuperstore.com. Remember, we make buying appliances easy at the Appliances Superstore.
Welcome back to the 2023 Wings Over Draft. Here's what's transpired so far. Clip Rock selected Honey Barbecue Tenders with the first overall pick. At 2, Chandler Honeycutt selected Loaded Waffle Fries. And a blockbuster trade, Shirley Rhodes traded up to get the Chicken Parm Tender Sandwiches 3rd overall. Now you're on the clock.
Draft your favorites today by ordering online at wingsover.com or by calling 758-9464. With no third party needed, Wings Over Greenville has its own in-house delivery service. Wings Over Greenville, your #1 pick every time.
Did you know that it's illegal to dig without first calling 811? 811 is a free program that locates underground utilities, marking them with flags and paint lines so you know where not to dig. Accidentally digging into utility lines interrupts service and could seriously hurt you or someone else. If you know someone who's planning to dig, encourage them to call 811 at least 3 full working days before they dig. 811 is free, it's safe, and it's the law. This message is brought to you by Greenville Utilities and this station.
Coco's Sports Bar and Restaurant, located in the old Professor O'Cool's location, has daily lunch specials from 11 to 5, including their famous $1 wing special, Monday through Wednesday, all day long. Coco's has entertainment every Tuesday with country western night and karaoke on Thursday starting at 8. Take advantage of their weekly fresh fruit margarita specials and be sure to try the best Philly ribeye steak rolls in town while you're at it. Coco's Sports Bar and Restaurant, Greenville's Diamond in the Rough. Check them out on Facebook for more information. Go Pirates!
Welcome to Russell's Spring Style. Our screen door says welcome to a beautiful selection of new apparel for men and women. The spring colors are bold and beautiful. Men, make your next suit or sport coat purchase easy with in-house alterations to assure a great fit. Ladies, it's Russell's for the best selection in dresses, tops, and slacks for most any occasion. Russell and Rhonda work hard to make Russell's in downtown Washington your shopping destination. It's all about you, our friends and customers at Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington.
Hey Pirate fans, did you know there are thousands of special needs children and adults right here in our community that loves ECU athletics as much as you do? Robbie's Clubhouse is a local nonprofit organization that can turn your unused ECU tickets into a fun day for a family with special needs. If you can't make it to the next Pirate game, simply call 1-800-DIAL-ECU and donate and designate your tickets for Robbie's Clubhouse. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At the Appliances Superstore, they make buying appliances easy. It's just that simple. The Appliances Superstore has the largest selection of in-stock appliances in Eastern North Carolina, which helps our customers save money every day. They offer a 12-month warranty on every appliance. Plus, they'll deliver and set up your new appliances and remove your old ones. The Appliances Superstore, off Highway 264 behind the new DMV, or shop them online at appliancessuperstore.com. Remember, we make buying appliances easy at the Appliances Superstore. Now let's head back into PRL. Here is Clip Brock.
All right, Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. We are under 3 hours away from the 2023 NFL Draft. Looking forward to that. We'll talk about some of that. Earlier this week, Marcus Crandell and I had a chance to talk to Kerry Joseph. He is the assistant quarterbacks coach with the Seahawks. We had that live on Facebook and YouTube. We'll play some of that interview back today where he talked about preparing for the draft from his perspective, and that was an interesting interview. Marcus Crandell joining us here, and excited about tonight to see what the quarterbacks, where they're going to land and what all's going to happen tonight.
Man, yes, it is. A lot of interesting things going around, rumors about who's going to land where and all those good things. Even the Carolina Panthers, people are talking about some late possible options for the Panthers, but who knows, right? Who knows? The mystery will be revealed, I should say.
That's right. We'll talk about that in a moment, and we'll talk to another great quarterback right now. Joining us on the Pirate Radio Live line, former ECU signal caller, CFLer Dominique Davis joining us on the show. And Dominique, I think I hooked up with you during the COVID times, but it's great to have you back on Pirate Radio. How you doing, man?
Yeah, man, it's been a while. How you doing?
Doing great, and great to hear your voice. And we're going to relive some of your great memories here in Greenville and what you've been up to since then. But Marcus, like yourself, Dominique found some success north of the border. It's cool to see.
That's right, man. Dominique, good to see you, man. Good to hear you on here.
Yes, sir. Good to talk to you, Marcus.
Yes, indeed. And congratulations on your new signing with the BC Lions as well. And just like Clip said, you've had a stellar career up there in the CFL, long career. And we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, we can do it right now.
All
in
right,
fact, so new contract for you, Dominique. So congratulations on that. Tell us what you're up to these days and who you're with. As Marcus said, the BC Lions.
I appreciate it, man. I signed with the BC Lions in February. This would be my 8th season in the CFL, 12th year total. And I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful for another year, another opportunity to continue to do what I love. And I'm blessed. I'm actually out here in Vancouver right now, training. Doing some film study, throwing on the field because camp is here in maybe like 10 to 12 days. So it's coming around quick, and the season starts in June.
Wow. So, yeah, just over a month away or so from the season getting underway, Marcus, and exciting times. What do you remember about this time of the year? What's Dominique going through right now, Marcus, as he prepares for a season?
Man, it's changed a little bit, actually, for the CFL because they start their season a little bit earlier than when I came into the league. But it happens very quickly for football fans. All right, you're going to get some football very soon. In regards to, because they show some of those games on US TV, I think it's ESPN. But just coming back and getting, I used to come back to the US and train with some of the guys, Jason Nichols being one of them. I used to throw the ball around with him and then head back up north of the border and get ready, right? And so a lot of the times when you finish a season, Dominique, you're probably the same way. You kind of get right back into it as far as right after the season, as far as weights and a little bit of running here and there. And that's kind of what I did in regards to that. But leading up to the training camp, especially when it gets about a week or so away, you start to get excited and get ready to see the guys again and get back into the groove of things. How about you, Dominique? What about what's your process been like since you've been with the BC Lions?
It's pretty unique here because it's the guys that's been on the team already. We run our own little players only mini camp like a month before we have to go to camp. So we kind of train together, get together, try to build some chemistry before the real thing happens. And to bounce off what Marcus said about the TV deals being on ESPN, they just actually announced today that they'll air like 34, 35 CFL games on CBS Sports in the U.S. So a lot of you guys will get to be able to watch a lot of more CFL football. So hopefully you guys can tune in this season.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's readily available now, easy to watch, and going to be a lot of games this year. Dominique, as a Florida guy, and you played a little college football up at Boston College, of course, and then came here to East Carolina, where we experience a lot of hot and a little bit of cold. How about have you, assimilated to the weather there in Canada? What's it like now, and what's it like being cold for a lot of the year?
Well, I'm in Vancouver, so I'm actually in a great spot in Canada because it doesn't snow as much, and it only gets in the 30s and 40s. So that's not terrible. But I was in Winnipeg for 3 seasons, and that was the coldest years I've ever been ever in my life. So man, it gets in like the negative 20s in Winnipeg. So even the people who live there don't get used to the cold. If
That's
people
right.
live there their whole life and they don't get used to it, I know I'm not gonna get used to it.
Absolutely.
So, I already got it in my head to just stay as warm as I can and try to get back home in December.
To give people a geographical kind of perspective of where Dominique is actually your weather there is very similar to Kerry Joseph, where he is in Seattle. You get very similar. It rains a lot over there. Like you said, it doesn't snow very much, very often, but you will get it every now and then. And yeah, a lot different from the other parts of Canada in regards to weather.
So
very different.
So Dominique, the other night, I was actually watching a little hockey with Marcus Crandell, and he was rattling off names of the Edmonton Oilers, and you were telling the Hurricanes what they should be doing. You said, man, they should put 2 guys at the net. And, so Marcus, he knows. Have you gotten to that point in your life where you are you into hockey, into the Canadian culture, things like that at all?
Man, go Tampa Bay Lightning.
All right, okay. You get Florida, of course, right?
Playoffs, but we can make a comeback. I've heard Toronto Maple Leafs fans are like the Cowboys fans. every year is their year, and they come close and end up, losing it at the end. So I hope that happens this season for us. So go Lightning.
All right, there you go. Got some hockey fans in here. Well, I guess I got to hate the Maple Leafs now if they're the NHL version of the Cowboys. So
there you go.
Well, Dominique, yeah, let's talk about some of your playing days here in Greenville. We had a guest on, former baseball player Brandon Manning, and he heard you were coming on and said, man, could Dominique had started his career off any better at East Carolina. He had a massive day stats-wise, but it ends in, of course, that Hail Mary. And I don't know, Dominique, those are the ones you probably grow up dreaming about as a football player. And do you still relive that moment in your head, that pass to Justin Jones there for the win?
Certainly, I didn't grow up playing quarterback, but I always envisioned catching a Hail Mary or throwing a Hail Mary. It's a childhood game called Jackpot, where basically you just 50 yards from a group of people and you just toss it up and someone has to come down with it. So that's something I always wanted to do. And the fact I'm actually playing quarterback and making that play, it was surreal. Even just that's something when I meet guys up here in the CFL and they hear I went to East Carolina and they always went to Tulsa. I'm teammates with Dane Evans. He played quarterback for Tulsa, and he brings up that Hail Mary play. So that play will never die.
That is awesome, man. From a coaching perspective, we talk about plays like that. Dominique is about. I think it was a great play for ECU history. But the magnificent thing about it is that you got the ball off, and from what I understand, you threw it from your hip, so to speak, and found a way to get it off and give your teammates a chance to make that play. And so that's the most important thing. And you don't really practice it, that kind of throw, but you always think about how am I going to get this ball off? Once you know that that's going to be the end of the play or the last play of the game, those situations you practice in practice, but you never know how it's going to unfold in the game. And so a great job, man, of finding the way to get that ball off and get it to your teammates to pull out that win.
Yeah, man, it was. I believe it was 4th down, and I think it was a timeout, and we was on the sideline, and we were just talking over the play, and I remember saying to the guys, man, we can complete this. We really can complete this, and we got out there, and I took like a little lazy 3-step drop, slid to my left, and just tossed it up to the big 6'8" guy. So
awesome.
It was easy for him, and like I said, man, that moment was surreal. That was if it was a moment to start off your career at ECU, that's how you wanted to start off.
And it was a precursor of things as far as high flying offense goes, as far as high point totals on the scoreboard, Dominique, because it was a culture shock for ECU fans and people following the program. We went from Skip Holtz, which was very run the ball, play defense, try to win, 21-17 type of thing, to Ruffin McNeil and Lincoln Riley. Hey, let's put up 50 and see what happens. And man, you were in a lot of those fun shootouts, and you were the signal caller in all those shootouts.
Man, I only had 2 years. I wish I had 2 more years with them, and things could have been different in those record books.
Yeah, no doubt. And speaking of record books, we always bring this up with you, Dominique. The performance at Navy, where you had set the consecutive completions record in college football in a game against the Navy midshipmen. And you've talked about this before, Dominique, but just to rehash it again, how aware of what's happening are you during that game? Do you know, holy crap, I've completed 24 straight passes? I mean, it's incredible. Are you thinking about that? When did you realize it, and what do you remember about that?
I wasn't necessarily thinking about it, but during the game, I was like, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good, and didn't notice how many completions I had at the time until at halftime. This reporter walked up to me and she told me, like, you just broke a record for consecutive completions. And I asked, really, how many? And she said 26. And that was enough.
Dominique breaking up on us a little bit.
I remember in the kind of very similar in this Canadian Football League when we had just won the Grey Cup, or after we won the Grey Cup in 2002. We were in Hamilton, and I was on one of those streaks in Hamilton, and one of our staff members came up and said, "Hey, Marcus, you're on a roll. You're on fire. You completed X amount of passes for a record," or whatever it was at that time. I can't remember the exact. But
so was that during the game or after?
That was during the game. It was during the game, and all I could think about was I actually had no one knew I had my ribs were hurting. So that's all I could think about. I was like, man, let's just get to this game. Let me focus on one player at a time kind of deal, and then come to find out I had a little fractured rib or something like that.
Dominique, you were breaking up on us a little bit. Are you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
I was saying how I just felt good at the time during the game, and I didn't know how many completions I had. And then it was halftime, and as we was walking in the locker room, reporter walked up to me and just told me I just broke a record for consecutive completions. And I asked her how many, and she was like 26. And that's when it hit me. I was like, oh, that's why I'm feeling good. This is what it means to be. So awesome. I wish she didn't tell me.
Right.
Someone told me. Because we came out that second half and threw it on the first play, and it was incomplete.
Yep. I was going to say, guys, it's like in baseball, you don't bring up a no-hitter.
Right.
And in football, I guess you don't bring in a mind. Yeah, right. Yeah. Marcus had ribs to worry about, so you couldn't even think about the good stuff, I guess. But Dominique was feeling it. And Dominique, what made it the best, we've beaten Navy once since then, but only once. But that at the time was our only win against the Navy. That actually ended in a W, which made that record even better, right?
Oh, man, this was miserable. The year we played Navy, before I broke the record was 2 different tales, 2 different games.
Yeah,
if you remember, I won't elaborate, but yeah, that game was pretty tough.
Yep, we won't even bring up how many points were scored that day. But great revenge from Dominique and the Pirates in 2011. We were actually, Dominique, and to talk about a loss, but man, it was such a fun start to the game and to the season. We were watching highlights, Chandler, of the ECU South Carolina game in Charlotte, where we got to know this Justin Hardy guy from West Craven who caught a touchdown in his first game, and boy, he went on to great stuff. But man, Dominique, you were throwing lobs to Lance Lewis, and the defense was making plays. You want to talk about a tale of 2 games? That was 2 completely different halves. But man, for that first half, that was one of the best halves of Pirate football I can remember. What do you remember that one?
I remember it like it was yesterday. We was connecting on all cylinders, and like you said, it was a tale of two halves. But you know, I guess you could say the talent caught up to us or whatever. But we definitely we definitely put ourselves on the map that first game in that first half. So people around the country, yeah, even though we're a quote unquote small school, you just can't sleep on us.
Dominique Davis joining us here on the Pirate Radio Live line. Marcus, anything for Dominique before we let him go?
Dominique, just as we're approaching the draft, just really quickly, what were your thoughts and what was your process leading up to the draft that year when you finished up with East Carolina?
I was after my last college football game, I ended up started for combines. I wasn't invited to the national combine. I went to the regional combine and then on draft day, just like every other player, sitting in front of the TV waiting to get drafted, and end up getting called. Literally 5 minutes after the draft, Atlanta called me and wanted to bring me in, and that was a dream come true. Even though my name didn't get called, it was still a dream come true that I got a chance to make an NFL roster.
Absolutely, man. So what would be your advice to the guys that are sitting around waiting, watching this moment? And, it's a great time of year in regards to guys that are coming out and entering the draft or their draft year. What message do you have for those guys as they're sitting around, especially the ones that probably won't get drafted, man, and just sitting around possibly waiting for that phone call just like you got?
First, call your friends, all your boys, your fans. Do not call you on game day, on draft day, because that's a stressful time when you're sitting there on draft day and your phone rings and you're thinking it's a team, and it ends up being a friend or a family member just trying to see, have you got drafted yet? So save your stress. Go ahead and let people know, don't call me today or tomorrow or Saturday. And for the people who might not get drafted, it's not the end of the world. It's just extra motivation and just another way to have a chip on your shoulder to make a team. Because most of the guys who have a long career in the NFL get drafted, fourth, fifth round and after. So don't be down on yourself if you don't get drafted, man. Just everything work out for itself, because it has to work out for a person like me.
Absolutely.
And just the last thing I want to say, I better see Holton Ahlers get drafted. He better come off the board. This man, I've been a supporter of him, and he's worked hard, and I wish the best for him. And I don't know if he's listening to this or watching this or whatever, but man, I'm wishing the best for him. He did great things for ECU, and I hope his name gets called.
That's awesome. We're hoping for the same, Dominique, and great to catch up with you, man. We wish you the best of luck with BC. We'll certainly catch up with you again down the road, but pretty cool to talk to two CFL greats, two ECU greats today on the show with both Marcus Crandell and Dominique. We'll keep in touch with you, Dominique, and do it again down the road, man.
Oh, sounds good, man. Awesome.
All right, take care, Dominique.
Dominique Davis, man, great to catch up with him, and did chat with Holton today and just say good luck this weekend and trying to make sure we can chat with him sometime next week, but I will not be calling him during the weekend. That was the number one piece of advice for Dominique. Do not, if you know a potential draft pick, do not call them.
Don't call.
Can you imagine, Marcus, you're sitting there and saying, man, this might be the Detroit Lions.
Oh, yeah.
But it's Jim from down the street.
It happened.
Wants to know if he can borrow your car or something.
What you doing?
Yeah, what's up? What you up to this weekend?
Hey, what do you think?
I'm waiting on a call from the GM of the Texans, not you. So there you go.
All kinds of calls that come on that day or those days.
That's awesome. Dominique and Marcus, there was a question that you can answer from Jamie. But wanted to know the biggest differences from Canadian and American football. He says, is there rules? You told me one the other night when we were hanging out, Marcus, that was interesting, the roster size.
Right.
So it's the next man up in the NFL, and you've got your practice squad, and a lot of the numbers are dwindled a little bit in the CFL, right?
Yeah, for the American guys that go up there, because they have to, it's truly half and half pretty much, where they have to have nationals is what they call them now in the Canadian, on the Canadian side, and then the U.S. guys. You have to have so many guys of the nationals play every game, and so you have to kind of juggle your roster around those kind of things. And so what gets pretty interesting is, like as we discussed the other night, is that when injuries occur, right, that's the teams that handle those rosters, man, is because it's key as far as getting into the playoffs, and then in the playoffs and Grey Cup and all those things, man, is key as far as how do you handle your roster for that week.
Yeah, and I believe you said even like a 53-man roster in the NFL, that number is lower
it's
for
lower.
CFL
it's
teams.
around like 46 or something like that. Yeah.
So, and how about as far as rules go,
rules, man, there are a lot of differences as far as rules. I mean, one being there's an extra guy, all right, so there's a difference there. The field is bigger, all right, and longer, wider, but probably one of the most things that people from down here have to adapt to, especially coming out of college, is the guys moving around. All right, so all the receivers can move around. So defensive guys, yeah, absolutely, man. So if you've watched arena football, very similar, right? So I think only one person can move in arena, if my memory serves me correct. Multiple guys can move, except for the offensive line. The offensive line can't move on either level. So those guys, even the wideouts that are on the ball, they can motion down as the ball is being snapped and all those things, and it's legal.
That's got to make it tough as a DB. I can't imagine a guy already getting a head start on you and what that does. So,
and one of the things about it is that you get some of those receivers, like especially when I came into the league, some of those receivers would hit the line of scrimmage and really be very close to being offside.
Oh yeah,
They'd be like a step past. But the referees wouldn't call it because they were saying they time it up to where, all right, they're in that neutral zone, so to speak, and they just let the play continue.
So is that who's calling that in that situation? Does that the receivers got to know when the quarterback's going to make the call? Is it the center? Like, how does that timing all work?
It's all on the quarterback.
All
and
on the
receivers
QB?
Getting used to the quarterback's cadence.
Okay, 10-4. Interesting stuff with Marcus Crandell and Dominique Davis today on Pirate Radio Live. We'll take a timeout, come back. When we return, we'll play some of the comments from Kerry Joseph. Marcus and I talked to him on Tuesday morning. Assistant quarterbacks coach of the Seattle Seahawks, says he talked about the draft from his perspective. We'll hear some of that and make you a winner. It's all ahead on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
There's nothing more important than protecting your family. Fire ants can cause painful allergic reactions and even death. Protect your loved ones at home where you should feel the safest. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com to learn of our once-a-year treatment to guarantee you stay fire ant free. Tested and proven effective by your Eastern North Carolina exterminating professionals at Pest Tech of Greenville. Mention the crying baby for an extra 10% off.
Getting a Jersey Mike's sub top Mike's way with onion, lettuce, tomatoes, oregano, and the juice is the bee's knees. Actually, it's better than the bee's knees. I mean, what's the purpose of knees on bees? They don't crouch, they just buzz around. But Mike's Way has a purpose, topping your sub the authentic Jersey way. It's the cat's pajamas. Wait, cats don't wear pajamas. Mike's Way is better. Let's just leave it at that. Get your sub top Mike's Way. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Welcome to Russell's Spring Style. Our screen door says welcome to a beautiful selection of new apparel for men and women. The spring colors are bold and beautiful. Men, make your next suit or sport coat purchase easy with in-house alterations to assure a great fit. Ladies, it's Russell's for the best selection in dresses, tops, and slacks for most any occasion. Russell and Rhonda work hard to make Russell's in downtown Washington your shopping destination. It's all about you, our friends and customers at Russell's Clothing in downtown Washington.
This is Talbot Green with Integrity Home Mortgage. Are you ready and pre-approved if the home you want to purchase comes for sale today? Integrity Home Mortgage offers a wide variety of of programs ranging from conventional, government, and portfolio loans, plus construction and lot loans. Our team of Talbot Green, Braxton Green, and Joanne Weir offers over 50 years of experience. To get started, call me, Talbot Green, 714-2076.
Talbot Green, NMLS 120331. For informational purposes only. Integrity Home Mortgage Corporation is equal housing lender. NMLS 208516.
Big jobs on big properties demand a big side-by-side. A side-by-side like the first ever Honda Pioneer 1000 Deluxe Crew. This flagship model delivers serious power and performance where you need it most. Even more, it offers best-in-class comfort for 6 occupants with back seat legroom beyond compare. As for build quality, we'll let the Honda name speak for itself. Head to Ron Ayers Motorsports and see the all-new Pioneer 1000 Deluxe Crew today on approved credit. See dealer for details.
To keep your bodies active and engaged in the activities that you love, you need a good stretch. And at Bodies in Balance, that's the mission they follow to give you the best quality of life. The team at Bodies in Balance can create a stretch or massage program that is right for you, featuring aromatherapy, hot stones, hot towels, cupping, percussion, and myofascial work at no extra cost if requested. And don't forget to mention Pirate Radio and get your first massage for $1 per minute and your first stretch free. Call today at 916-4530 and check them out online at bodiesinbalance.com.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has American airline flights perfect for your next trip. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
University PC Care in Greenville and New Bern has been serving the tech repair needs of Eastern North Carolina since 2006. And as one of the only Apple-authorized service providers east of Raleigh, all our technicians are Apple certified, and we only use genuine Apple parts. Your iPhone and Mac warranties are safe with us. Have questions or need service? Call 252-558-1280 or visit us online at universitypccare.com. University PC Care, your one-stop shop for service on everything Apple.
Pirate Radio. Blah, blah, blah. This. Blah, 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 blah. Is. Blah. Pirate. Blah, blah. Radio.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Brown & Wood is your home of the best selection of GMC, Cadillac, Buick, and Mazda in Eastern North Carolina since 1937. Shop their entire inventory online at brownandwoodauto.com or visit them on Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, Greenville's #1 dealership and the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. Now let's head back into PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, going over some old names that Washington drafted back in the day. Talking about LeVar Arrington and what a player he was at Penn State, Marcus.
Man, yes, he was.
Had his moments in the NFL, but was never that great linebacker we thought he'd be. But still in the media now. Does a show with Plaxico Burress and TJ Houshmandzadeh. And I'm still a LeVar fan. But other guy, Chase Young, to be determined on him. We'll see how he turns out.
Yep.
Marcus, I was do you remember Michael Westbrook from Colorado?
I do.
Man, I was a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
Had a big year in 99. Turns out, and I think I even read, he admitted that he didn't love football. Like, he went on to do some MMA fighting and some other stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But just he didn't love the game like some of these greats do. And that might have hampered him in the league a little bit. Champ Bailey, I was very excited about. We ended up trading him. He's a Hall of Famer. Traded him for Clinton Portis, who I love, but I wish he would have done all that in a Washington jersey. Brian Arakpo was on my list. Very excited about Arakpo. Great guy, really good player, but always had a pec injury. Always had an injury of some sort, but he was a great player. Sean Taylor, don't even need to get into that. Yeah. Murdered way before his time. Just sad story still. Sad about that to this day. And then LaRon Landry, who they tried to pair back there with Sean Taylor, who was just a giant muscle-bound safety and never really met his expectations either. He unfortunately is most famous for talking junk to Deshaun Jackson before a Monday night game, and then the first play of the game, 90-yard Deshaun Jackson touchdown right by Landry to shut him up. And I was cussing at my TV when that happened. Why are you talking when you can't even guard it? You know, just
was the TV still there when you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was. You know, I did not throw remotes or things like that. I would throw soft objects.
All right, so you were still able to watch the rest of the game.
Unfortunately, that was what they call the Monday Night Massacre when Michael Vick put up, was it 59 or something on Washington? It was bad. But why talk about that? Let's talk about things that don't make me mad. How about we had a great interview earlier this week, and folks can check it out in its entirety on Facebook and on YouTube, with Kerry Joseph, who you met through the ranks, Marcus in Canada, right? And he's now the assistant quarterbacks coach in Seattle. And we went on to talk about the year Geno Smith had and the year the Seahawks had last year. But in this part, you'll hear us talk about the draft and preparing for the draft from a coach's perspective. So, Shirley, let's hear some of that interview. Marcus, myself, and Kerry Joseph from earlier this week. Well, Kerry, let's talk about this upcoming NFL draft. And man, it's a good time to be a Seahawks fan due to the big trade, the blockbuster trade with the Denver Broncos. The Seahawks have set themselves up pretty here, not only winning football games last year, but now 2 picks in the first round. I believe 3 picks in the first 37 picks, something like that. So you guys have a lot you can add to the roster, or, as you know, can also make some trades. So it sets up for an exciting Thursday for Seahawks fans. How's the prep going for the draft, especially when you have all the picks like you do this year?
You know what, prep has been going well. You know, coaches have dived into, evaluating our positions, looking at guys, and, you know, our GM and our scouting department, they do a great job of the way they set things up, the way they plan, you know. So everybody kind of has their role to play throughout the off season when you're coming up to a great opportunity like the NFL draft. You know what, we have some great opportunity coming up, and I know our GM, head coach, personnel department, they're going to put a plan together. And they're going to have a great plan come Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's for sure.
Well, Kerry, how about the quarterback position for Seattle? First of all, before we talk draft, let's talk about last year. And Geno Smith, famously, I was one of the people that wrote him off, and he didn't write back. That was the famous line from Geno last year. What a year he had in the Seahawks offense. So you feel like you're in a pretty good spot there. But yeah, before we talk about new talent, how about what you guys were able to do last year with a lot of people saying you'd be one of the worst teams in the league? That had to be pretty fulfilling for you guys to not only win, but win while everybody else said you couldn't win.
You know, it's more about quieting the noise and just believing in what you have as a group. You know, it starts from the top. You know, it starts from our head coach, from our general manager, you know, even from our owner. And just coming into the season, you know, we had some changes. But for us internally, we believed in ourselves. We believed in the talent that we had, you know, and just a guy like Geno coming in and competing, winning the starting job. And, you know, he's been a guy that's been hungry, and it showed. You know, he came in laser focused. And in the NFL, you got to have a quarterback that can get it done behind the center, and he did a great job. You know, with having him, Drew, Sean Mannion, we had a great room of leaders, and we just believed. We believed in each other as a group, as an organization, as a team, and it showed on the field. You know, and it just goes to show you that it doesn't matter what other people think about you. It's about how you come together as a group, and you put it together every Sunday.
Now, Kerry, you said put it together, coming together as a group, and Geno's one of those guys that's he's kind of the journeyman of the NFL. He's been on a lot of different teams. What did you guys do differently that other teams didn't really get that same success out of him as you guys did?
You know what? It's putting him in the right situation. I think Geno, you know, it was his time. It was just his time. You know, I think everybody has a time in their life and their time in their career, and also just having people around him. You know, we had a lot of talent around him, at a skill position. The offensive line was great. We was able to run the football. And so when you do that, and MC, you play the position, man. When you got those A+ players around you, and you don't have to try to do everything, and you fit into a great offensive system, it works out, And you just gotta be the point guard and distribute the ball, and that's what he was able to do.
Talking to Kerry Joseph today, assistant quarterbacks coach with the Seattle Seahawks. And speaking of quarterbacks coach, we got a guy here coming out of East Carolina that broke some of Marcus Crandell's records here. So he's pretty good, Holton Ahlers. And Coach, I've always been curious about how a guy can raise their stock so much after they're done playing. You've got the film on them and everything, but we're kind of seeing that happen with Holton Ahlers because he's the MVP of 2 postseason All-Star games, the Hula Bowl, the NFLPA Bowl. He's been to quarterback camps and clinics and getting instruction, and it seems like he's gone from a guy that might be a rookie free agent to a guy that should definitely be a rookie free agent that could potentially get drafted now. So how about his name? Or do you hearing his name at all? Are you talking about him, looking at him? Holton Ahlers from East Carolina. What do you know about him?
You hear his name. You've seen the production that he's had throughout his career. You do your evaluation, you do your work on him, and then I think what he's doing is what everybody does is you can always raise your stock. It doesn't stop. You're always getting better. Whether you playing the game, whether you're doing workouts, whether you're doing interviews. Guys have to impress in every area leading up to the draft, and I think that's what you see him doing right now, and I think that's where he gets the buzz from. He's talented and he has some skill set, and now he's doing all the things leading up to the draft, and it helps. When people realize and they talk to you, and they see how much of a you got to have some leadership qualities to play the position, the quarterback position in the NFL, and you got to be able to, like a coach, you got to be able to manage. When you're doing that and people can see that you have those qualities and those intangibles, you know what? It does what it does for you. It helps you it helps your stock to grow.
Kerry Joseph joining Marcus Crandell and I here on Pirate Radio. Coach, when you go to the combines, pro days, and you get to see these guys, you're looking at what they can do physically. How important is the mental side of it? When you're able to meet with guys, talk with guys, there's so much stuff you got to look at and get to know these guys. So if you are talking to a potential player that the Seahawks are going to draft or looking at a guy, what do you want to know about him? What kind of questions are you asking? What do you want to know from those one-on-one chats?
It's a lot of information that you try to just gather. And everybody has their different areas. As a coach, you have some information that you want to find out as a coach. You want to find out who that player is and who that person is. Then you have your personnel department. They have their way of going around and digging for things and trying to figure out things, putting a plan together. So you just, every organization is different. Everybody has a different plan. And it's just basically what's, how can I say it? It's your philosophy going into the off season, into the draft process. It's your organization's philosophy. So you just kind of combine all those thoughts and the information that you gather. You put it together as a group, and you make the best sound decision. I think football on the field, off the field, is just like life. It's no perfect situation. You believe in what you believe in, and you go for it.
All right, Kerry, inquiring Pirate Radio fans want to know, just like Clip said, you guys have some great quality picks in the first few rounds of the draft. Who you guys picking first, man?
Hey, those inquiring Pirate fans gonna have to wait because Kerry Joseph has no clue.
Kerry Joseph joining us for that whole interview. You can check it out YouTube or Facebook. It's available for you. And Marcus, that last little tongue-in-cheek question, it kind of shows, and I think we got into this further in the interview, there's so many people employed by these organizations, and everybody has a job to do. And Kerry Joseph's job is not to draft the players tonight. His job is to, if they draft a quarterback, prepare him to play on Sundays and do all that. So everybody's got their job, their task. Now, something he did say interesting, I believe, off the air with us, is that Holton Ahlers is on a list of names for him to look at, which tells me that there's a chance he could be brought in there, which there's a chance he could be brought into any team. But he's got his list of names to, hey, just in case, start to get to know these guys because you might be working with them next week. So it was interesting to hear his take on things and how he's involved in the draft process, but also not, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's a pertinent part of the draft process in regards to he's got to do his evaluations on the quarterbacks, and so they're going to base their decisions on, if they were to choose a quarterback, a lot of it is going to be based on some of his information that's given to the person that makes those decisions.
Right.
So he's got to be accurate with his ideas and thoughts of that player or those players that he's evaluating, and everybody has to be on the same page and come together and then make a sound decision, as he mentioned.
And as fans, we're interested in the first round, but these teams are trying to find those diamonds in the rough on Saturday in rounds, 5, 6, 7, and their list, their war room. It's got to be fascinating to see what goes on. So, Marcus, as a coach in the CFL, were you ever involved in off season and draft and scouting and things like that? What was your involvement when it came to adding personnel to the team, if any?
Yeah, we evaluate the players, kind of the same process, but on draft day, it was pretty much the GM, the head coach,
right,
and the assistant GM who pretty much made the decisions of who we're going to draft. And so just like they did, we went through that process of watching film, talked about certain players here and there. I was the offensive coordinator, so just as we mentioned in that, I had to look at everybody, kind of look at all those guys that we went and saw at the combine or they evaluated and put on the list. And so, and then when it came down to it, everybody had to, buy into whoever was drafted.
We picked this guy, Marcus. Now you make him good.
Make it work.
Yeah, get to work. All right, let's make somebody a winner right now as we open up the Pirate Radio booty bag.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, 317-1250, the number. Shirley, what are we giving away today?
How about a $10 gift card to Familia?
All right, Familia, awesome spot for awesome pizza. Also, as John Moody said yesterday, don't sleep on the build your own pasta. They got a lot of great options. Chandler is a fan of the
Italian hoagie.
The Italian hoagie.
By the way, pizza of the week, and I'm gotta be honest, I'm not a fan of this. But the pizza of the week is ham and pineapple.
Oh, I'm in.
That's a great point you made there, because you say you're not a fan.
You're not a pineapple. How about you, Marcus?
Pizza. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
I don't mind it at all. I like it.
I'll be picking that up Friday night on the way home.
Pizza of the week.
Count me in for a ham and pineapple. All right, Shirley, what call are you looking for?
9.
Caller 9, 317-1250. We're back with more with Marcus Crandell when we return after this.
Jeff Stein, our special guest from Brown & Wood. Hey, Jeff, electric cars are coming. What's that mean for Brown & Wood customers?
For the customers, like it or not, EV is coming. We've installed 5 electric vehicle chargers here at the dealership. We have the all-new Cadillac Lyriq coming at 1st of 2024, and we've just seen the first reservation for the new Sierra EV.
People are interested in electric vehicles. How can they get up with you?
They can visit us at brownandwood.net or 329 Southwest Greenville Boulevard. Brown & Wood, 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 rooftops, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
We have some pretty refreshing news coming to you from Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer. It's called the Essential Collection. It's made with coconut water and real fruit juice, so you know it's always going to have a refreshing, superior taste. Plus, it's only 90 calories and has 0 added sugar. This might just be the most refreshing seltzer yet. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer Essential Collection. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributors. Distributing since 1989.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
With over 30 locations across North Carolina and southeastern Virginia, Quality Equipment is your local John Deere dealer, where you'll find everything you need for your next project. Our complete lineup of John Deere lawn and garden, agricultural, and commercial worksite equipment comes with years of experience, expertise, and dedication. We know what it takes to get it done right. Stop by today or visit us online at qualityequip.com.
You've worked hard to make your business successful, and that's why it's really important to always have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from First Bank, and our experienced team of local bankers includes Lee Watson, Bonner Latham, Chris Richards, Josh Hooten, and Heath Nisbet. To get the business services that are right for your business today, come and see someone on our team at First Bank on Arlington Boulevard here in Greenville. First Bank, together with our customers, we're creating a world where individuals and communities thrive.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Zero means zero at Bostic Sugg Furniture. Zero minimum purchase, zero interest, zero sales tax. Today at Bostic Sugg, zero gets you everything. Beautiful sofas, sectionals, and motion furniture, dining sets, and bedrooms. Then get a discount equal to double the sales tax or 72 months zero interest with zero minimum purchase. Plus, sleep better on a new Restonic or Serta mattress with a power base. Zero means zero, but there's zero time to waste. So hurry to Bostic Sugg Furniture.
At Papa John's, we start with better. Like our fresh, never frozen dough made from 6 simple ingredients. And our dough can save you dough. Get 2 or more Papa Pairings favorites for just $6.99 each. Order now on the app from Papa John's.
Hey, Pirate fans, Papa John's is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Go Pirates.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
This is Carter Spivey, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour of PRL is brought to you by Bud Light, reminding pirate fans to stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you want to get rid of wrinkles, tighten and lift your skin, smooth your skin texture, erase veins and brown spots, and get rid of unwanted hair? Are you interested in Botox or filler? Well, contact the licensed professionals at Beauty Bar Medi-Spa on Red Banks Road in Greenville. Free consultations are available by calling 752-1406 or visiting beautybarmedispa.com. Enjoy your visit, love your transformation, and congratulations to Eric Mazzell of Greenville. Picked up a $10 gift card to Familia. Familia is your place for great Italian food, whether it's great New York-style pizzas, homemade meatballs, lasagna, chicken parm, or the delicious homemade desserts. Familia is a winning play every time. For dine-in or takeout, make Familia your go-to play when you have a hungry team. Familia on Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College. Now, back to PRL. Here's Clip.
All right, back with you, Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. We got the NFL draft coming up tonight, and Marcus, I was showing you this. There's a draft nut that I'm friends with and has a party every year, puts together some prop sheet for us, and it is almost like learning a foreign language to me. I know a handful of college guys.
Yeah.
I know Washington's needs, and outside of that, I'm just kind of enjoying the spectacle. I want to see what happens with the quarterbacks. I love the trades and how that can impact not only tonight but the future. But as far as like knowing all the the names and the prospects. I know about maybe half of the guys that'll be selected in the first round tonight.
Yeah.
But man, this thing really gets in the weeds. So how about I throw a few your way?
That's pretty interesting.
All right. So
very intriguing.
So we think Bryce Young's going number 1 to Carolina.
Yeah.
What will the Texans do with the number 2 pick? Will they draft Will Levis or Tyree Wilson? That's option 1. Will they draft C.J. Stroud or Will Anderson? So you got quarterback, defensive guy, or any other result, including a trade. If you had to pick one of those options, which one are you taking?
Man, it's pretty interesting because I'm a huge fan of C.J. Stroud, but I do think that they have a great quarterback there who's in Davis Mills.
You like Davis Mills?
I really do. I really do. I mean, he's one of the if there's a certain type, he's the old school type of quarterback, so to speak, in regards to has the big arm, great arm. But C.J. Stroud is a great quarterback. I think he had an outstanding career. I think what he's going to show in the NFL is going to be kind of what he showed flashes of in the last game of his career. Unfortunately, it didn't end well, but I think that was one of the first games where he showed his elusiveness and he ran the ball a little bit more than he had in the past, and so I think he's going to do that. But I think they're going to go with a defensive lineman. I really do.
So Wilson or Anderson?
I'd say Wilson.
Okay,
that's
all right.
my guy.
I talked to a Texans fan last night. Said he didn't want Levis, didn't want Stroud, only because he doesn't think they're a quarterback away. He thinks there's a lot more than just getting a quarterback there, and he's okay with Mills as well. But he would rather see them trade back or take one of those stud defensive players. He does not want to see a quarterback come off the board for his team. So we'll see what happens tonight. What do the Cardinals do with the 3rd pick in this year's draft? Now, this is where I think the first trade could happen. It could happen with Houston, but I even saw today that the Cardinals are looking for a trade partner, willing to look for a trade partner with that 3rd pick. So that was my answer to this sheet. Will they draft Will Anderson? Will they trade the pick or any other result, meaning take any other player? How about Arizona? What do you think they do here?
I think they take another player outside of what's there.
Offense, defense?
I'm going to say offense.
Okay.
I'm going to say receiver, actually. I don't know, but I think that's the route that they're going to go.
Well, it sounds like they may be losing a receiver, as if you look at the odds, the player most likely to be traded right now is DeAndre Hopkins.
There you go.
So, and
it's some interesting
coincidence or not
out there about DeAndre Hopkins.
He did an interview this week where he talked about how much he loved Josh Allen and the Bills, which you don't normally hear a player talk about how much they love another team and play. Right. So, I don't know if his agent's working on something there, but found that interesting earlier this week. How about the number of quarterbacks taken in the first round this year, Marcus? And I believe that number was like 4.5, something like that. How many QBs do you think get picked? So you've got Stroud and Young and Levis and Richardson are all. Now, I like Hooker from Tennessee. Mm-hmm. The problem is, and Marcus, I think you've talked about this, going into a draft where you're injured.
Right.
So it's now it's not like you need this guy to play from day one, but you'd rather take a healthy guy than a guy, coming off of surgery. So do you think Hendon Hooker, what do you think about him out of Tennessee?
I like him. I watched him a little bit, especially the highlights, but I think he showed very well as far as his career this past season, and unfortunately wasn't able to finish the bowl game off, but or play in the bowl game at all. But I really like his skill set. The good thing about whoever picks him is that he'll have some time to get healthy.
Yeah.
Right? If you pick him, you have to go in and saying, hey, we're going to grow and develop this guy. He's going to be our true quarterback of the future, and not forcing him on the field before he's ready to get out there.
Well, I like this, Marcus. It's got, I guess it's Mel Kiper's draft. He has the Rams getting Hendon Hooker. Think about that. They've got Matthew Stafford.
That's right.
And they're basically saying, let's get our QB of the future in Hooker. Also saw Minnesota Vikings. They have Kirk Cousins. Mm-hmm. So maybe he goes to a place that already has a starter for now, but can be the QB of the future.
Guy to groom.
Yeah, I like that. Marcus, we are out of time. Enjoyed the show today, and thanks for helping us out with the Coach Kerry Joseph interview and Dominique Davis interview. That was fun, and
man, that was good.
I know you got some more teammates or guys that you know through the business that we might be talking to down the road.
Yes, absolutely. I mentioned one earlier, Jason Nichols. He's going to be joining us next week.
All right.
And then also I'll get Larry Shannon, former wide receiver for the Pirates. The terrible towel.
I used to
not the terrible towel, the pirate towel.
I used to like being Larry Shannon in the yard, catching catching fade routes.
Awesome.
Because he could catch a fade like no other. That was awesome.
Yes, he could.
All right, Marcus. We'll talk to you next week, man. Enjoyed it.
All right, same here.
Shirley, Chandler, we'll see you fine, folks. 3:00 tomorrow, right here on another edition of Pirate Radio Live. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll talk to you Friday. Jeff Charles, take us home.